Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. It is me, it is you, it is everywhere. Welcome, welcome, one and all, back to the Oplock Your One Stop Shop for everything commentary, news, and goings on the internet, and a little bit of slop. I'm your host, Falgy EXE, coming at you live from Oplock Studios. Something really interesting happened. It happens every fucking time. When Stream Elements decides to update, it changes all of the sizes of all of my sources. So if there's a source issue, I don't know why. Like my PNG tuber was in the middle of the screen and was as tiny as humanly possible. I was like, why? So if there are noises that don't work, you'll know why.
Shut up, Falgy. You chose the worst Hello Kitty character.
It's literally the only one I know.
Really? I'm offended and pregnant.
Dude, it's the only one I knew. Holy shit, Slug.
It's my birthday today. I turned 39 today. Owl emoji.
Happy birthday, Japhthis. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Yeah, Cloudy uses Streamlabs, I think, or maybe uses Elements. I just use Stream Elements because it's the first one I ever used. And at this point, I'm kind of like a sucker for it. It just works for me in my hodgepodge. I have 1,000 sources thing. I know one day I should switch over, but it'll be very interesting. Oh, Leia, I'm glad you're here. There's updates on a dot, but we'll get there.
It's legitimately the worst character. WTF, man.
Is it? I don't really know. I don't really know anything about, I don't know much about the Hello Kitty characters out of the people that have told me things. Moderina and other people have discussed, I've learned through osmosis through them. And obviously, shout out to Turkey Tom, the biggest Sanrio lover of all time. Turkey Tom is the best Sanrio lover of all time. And I can't believe that. Oh, it was asked of me. I gotta figure out the date, okay? Let me see the date real quick. So, March 22nd. Am I?
Falgy, I'm actually upset with you.
Maybe. So, March 22nd at 7:30 p.m. EST, which is this weekend, is Digimon Con. I may stream Digimon Con. I may stream the Digimon convention. Will I have any idea what the fuck I'm doing? No. Will I potentially get either 0 subs or 1,000 people in the stream? No clue. Because the channel may explode by accident.
I like Kuromi because it helps me find BPD girls.
Oh my god, we actually have to talk about that. We actually have to talk about BPD girlies. It's actually really, really funny. Claudia doesn't know much about Digimon. I'm going to tell you guys that.
Snickerdoodle cookies, my favorite cookie to exist.
I love Snickerdoodles. They're great. They're great. Slug, thank you for the number 199. Slug, you're also going to be talked about today.
The best character is Kirumi, you literal loser.
Is it? I couldn't know. You will get turbo nuked by Toei. So no, Toei will allow me to view the live stream. I just have to super put it away. They won't nuke me live. They'll nuke me in post.
Mac with some cheese tipped $1, yet you still won't play Time Stranger. Curious. Also, I auditioned for some VA roles today. Pray for me.
Hey, Mac,
chat.
Congratulations. I really hope you do that. Listen, Digimon Con will probably have a sale on Time Strangers, so that'll probably be when I can get it. Oh my god, you guys are crazy.
Pom Pom Purin is obviously the best Sanrio character.
Yeah, maybe. No, I won't. It will be, so that stream will be live. It won't be members only. I'll explain to you kind of a little bit how to do it.
Dafook did I do? Why am I involved?
So, we'll talk about it. So, the stream doesn't need to be members only. I have to just, super put it away afterwards. It's like when I streamed the Game Awards 2 years ago. I can still stream the Game Awards. The stream just has to disappear. Like, it has to burn after reading a little bit, or I can like make it members only or unlist it. It's like a whole thing. Like when you do those kinds of things, you do have to do that. I am incredibly excited for Digimon Con. There is just going to be a lot of nonsense about the card game that I like the card game. I don't play the card game. Because I don't play the card game, I can't explain to you the card game. What I can say is that they're supposed to be making a fucking... Listen, there's supposed to be a mobile app very soon. I just need it. A couple other different like service announcements. Apparently, Diesel has told me that I should cover this Firebat person. Even Aiko said I should do it. So you guys may be getting Firebat content soon. I believe, if I remember correctly, I've heard through the grapevine, Malcolm may or may not have, goddammit Malcolm, who, I know Malcolm doesn't, some people don't like Malcolm. I know Malcolm and I have had like a tenuous relationship, but apparently Malcolm interviewed this person's ex. I don't, like, apparently this is like maybe another Leadhead. Maybe another Leadhead, but like one that actively participates in the lolcowisms. So I'm incredibly curious since Leadhead has kind of died. It's really upsetting. I know Beckett can't make a specific video for obvious reasons.
Bro, all tripping, it's obviously a Gretusco.
Thank you, Tusky, for the 2. Thank you for the 2. Pookie, this is worse than Leadhead. Yes, but the thing is that there is, okay, so the thing with Leadhead is there are very real, in my opinion, concerns about who Leadhead is, the way that she promotes polyamorous relationships, and probably, if I had to guess, I'm not going to accuse interpartner abuse, but what I am going to say is something smells funky about Leadhead that I can't put my finger on since nobody has been willing to speak up about it, but I smell something, and it is weird. But apparently this Firebat person is even worse because they engage like with their lolcowisms, and it's... And yeah, from what I understand, there are a trans person, so there's like, obviously there's like gay lingo in there, yada, yada, yada. Obviously, I'm not trans, so I can only do my best in kind of understanding the trans identity, and speaking with people who are trans before I go live to just understand like what the fuck is happening. She's also a rapist. Oh, that's insane. Moon Bunny / Kitty just being like, yeah, she's also a rapist. Insane.
Leadhead is obviously a CIA op to make polyamory look bad.
What do you mean? Moon Bunnies, you can't just say that. You can't just say it's also a rapist and then leave the chat. Wait, that's real. If someone wants to make a, oh, Jesus Christ. We will be talking about another rapist today, but if someone wants to create a thread in the Discord regarding it, I'd love to cover that. That is one of the most insane things somebody's ever fucking said. Let's see, there's other public service announcements. Oh, I have exclusive A-Dot content that was given to me. Thank you, Burn the World, and thank you, K-Hawk. I was just given some exclusive A-Dot content. For those who don't know, A-Dot is the terrible ACC video. Like, stuff that I don't know. And even I sit there, it's like, that doesn't sound right. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, very famously, because she's here, and I do kind of like I talked to Leia a little bit, and I made sure to make it known on Lio's stream. But like that video said that Leia was doxxed and fired from her job. None of that happened, by the way. Like none of that happened. And I talked to Leia a little bit. I'm not going to leak DMs, but I felt so incredibly bad for Leia because, like, if you're going to spread misinfo, the worst misinfo you can actually spread is someone was doxxed. Excuse me.
I got work in the morn. DM me what I'm involved in.
It's gonna be you know what you're involved in. But like it's really like that's, in my opinion, that's really bad to not correct. You made a accountability video, which is, hey, I fucked up. Like, hey, I made a bad video. Oopsie for making a bad video. While your entire video is so extremely confident that you would piss off Lio and everyone associated with him, and all you did was just DFE, which is insane. But we have an exclusive content from that, so I'm looking forward to that. We're gonna play it in a little bit. Also, I want to make something very clear, because public things have moved, and I want to make some like public service announcements very clear. So our last stream, we covered the Slug Chulie interview. Now, we didn't cover all of it. From what I understand, the second half is not great. I've made my complaints known to Slug. I've even told Slug, and Slug has agreed that, like, yeah, it just gets a little repetitive. There are tangents that I feel like just should have been just written questions that would have allowed people to just go off on places. But I kind of want to make something very clear, because I've seen some movement, like in my Discord and other places, like on Ace's stream. Now, I want to make some things like kind of upfront. I talked with Ace about his coverage on the Chulie stuff. I know he had Monsters on, for instance, to explain her DMs. I don't, and I've had a conversation with this about Ace, and he and I like kind of understand each other. I don't fully agree with how Ace covered it, but I don't blame him. And I kind of want to make that very clear. I think what comes out in Ace's coverage more than my own coverage, and you can see the last stream, but just kind of like to TLDR it, Chulie had a series of bad takes that seemed a little bit more personal as time goes on. She did act out in some ways that seemed aggressive and things like that. And while she does own that she had a bad take in the interview with Slug, which is totally fine, my statement has always been, it is how you handle the bad take. It is not how you, it's not just necessarily if you had the bad take. That's always been a big thing for me. It's things like that. And I don't necessarily fully agree with how Ace handled certain things. Some of the things behind the scenes, sure. But I made that known to him, but I can't blame him. And I want to say why. Chulie and Ace are friends, were friends, are friends. I don't think Ace views her negatively. So that's just like, I'm just going to just say, I don't think Ace views Chulie negatively. But from what I hear from Ace is very just personal. And it's just like, hey, my friend messed up. And then in this interview, my friend says I'm rage baiting them when they give a bad take that I'm trying to save them from. If I wasn't annoyed, like if I was Ace, I would equally be at a level of annoyed and it would come out in my coverage. I don't think Ace hates Chulie. I don't think Ace is trying to burn Chulie to save himself. I've had conversations with him privately about it. That's not what he wants to do. But I can't just sit here and say that what Ace said and or did doesn't come from a place of understanding. Would it have been the way I would have handled it? Probably not. Probably not. There's some things that I know that he said, specifically, I'm going to say it. Apparently, what was revealed, and I was not aware of this. Apparently, from what I understand from Ace's stream, that Chulie was in a call with other people, and my coverage of the call had upset her. I covered when people messed up. And when I feel like, especially if my content really intersects with them, I cover when people mess up that that have been on my show sometimes and things like that. Very specifically, I did it with Beckett, right? Beckett's a real big one. Obviously, that caused a whole host of trauma I'm not getting into, but I covered it with Beckett with the Destiny video. The Destiny video was there. We watched it live. I had my own critiques. I even made my own critiques known to Beckett, and we became better friends because of it. Like I said, during my stream, Chulie had not reached out to me, voicing some of the concerns that she had or some of the qualms that she may have had about my content, or even just what to do in the aftermath of what happened. Listen, hurt feelings happen. Fucking up happens. Chulie and I are more acquaintances than friends, and that's perfectly fine. She was a content creator. I was a content creator. This is like something in contrast to like the Goat Cato hidden situation, because like, I'm going to be honest, I didn't cover it because not my monkey, not my circus. There are other factors that would have prevented me from covering certain things. Obviously, as is very well known, I knew about Ace's and Goat Cato's breakup, so I knew that my coverage also, if I had ever cover it, well, again, not my monkey, not my circus, because I would never want to cover the Cupidite stuff, and I made that very well clear. I knew like other stuff behind the scenes that not necessarily would have colored my coverage, but I would have had to make those things known. And at the time, neither of them wanted that to be public, and I respected that of them, even if Goat Cato is a lying whore, a lying skank. I still respected that out of both of them. So, you know, again, there are multiple reasons why I didn't cover it. Main one, not my monkey, not my circus. Hidden wasn't a part of my content. Hidden is a creator from Lio Space that's been in my Discord, but like not what I am. Backshots, go fuck yourself. I've seen
Don't
this.
Don't let this distract you from the fact that Fauji sounds like Sheriff Woody when he yells.
There's a snake in my boot. Fuck you, Backshots. Fuck you. You fucking Cloudy showed that to me, and I got so annoyed. But again, I hold no ill will towards anybody. Talked with Ace about it. If Chulie doesn't want to talk about it, if no longer wants to associate, that's completely on her. I got no issues with Chulie. I'm gonna give criticisms where I think criticisms are due, but I will also always leave the door for people to improve. That's always been my day one thing. Unless your name is internet adjacent, where you can just go fuck yourself.
Fuck, do I gotta stay awake? I'm EPUF.
No, Slug, you don't need to stay awake. That's pretty much the end of it. I just kind of wanted to be, I kind of just want to be very honest about things, because I try to be honest. You've never seen Fauji and Tom Hanks in the same room. Somebody no!
There's a snake in my you.
That's insane. Wow. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think that there's much to like address with it. I don't think that I feel like my coverage is fair, and I have tried to be a little bit better about that. Even though like my coverage has always been fair, I have to fuck you, Bagel Block. Hey, British. Like, my coverage has always been fair. I do try to be fair as much as I can. It's not like a soy thing. It's literally just, I do think that if people deserve the capacity for change, they can get the capacity for change, but it is what it is. What the hell was I going to say? But that's pretty much it on that. Do I have anything else? Oh yeah, fuck David Slaslov. Fuck that son of a bitch. If you know, you know. Guy's getting like a fucking multi-million-dollar parachute for just like ruining animation and a whole bunch of shit. Fuck that guy.
Wait, that's it? Falgy, you fucking dweeb.
That's pretty much it, Slug. That's on you, brother. Is Girl Woody Jesse? Yes. Jesse is Girl Woody. Yeah, no, fuck David Zasloff, that fucking piece of shit. Getting like fucking multi-million-dollar contract and golden parachute while he has single-handedly destroyed like WB Entertainment and a whole bunch of shit. I fucking Saberspark put out an interesting video. And it's like why Gen Alpha doesn't watch cartoons. I think it's really interesting, like how the shorts market has like integrated itself. If you want to do that, go do that. I think that's super interesting.
Access, Depresso Espresso tipped $1. Falgy, if you ever do a southern accent again, he'll forcibly move you to Brooklyn.
Well, hell, my name is Falgy, and I'm coming down here from the big old state of Arkansas. Well. I could do well, how you do? I'm from the bayou. Yes. Yeah, I just watched that. Yeah, it's super interesting. It was a very incredibly interesting video. Oh my god, we hit the goal already, chat.
Oh no, Falgy. I don't feel so. You
guys are crazy.
Good, you.
But yes, and thank you guys. It's time to feed that pupper. It's time to give her treats. It's time to feed that dog now, even though she's been bad today because she's a little annoyed. On the Upbox stream tonight. Here you go, girl. Go get it, girl. And if you want to feed that dog, all you gotta do is hit that doobly-doo goal. Thank you.
In making more Falge sonas.
Thank you.
Don't be southern.
So, before we get into the Tectone video that I'm incredibly excited for, guys, I have been waiting for this video for longer than you all know. We're going to go to the display capture real quick. So I have been handed some exclusive A-Dot content. Now, for those who don't know, A-Dot is a content creator. Oh, I never went into the Discord, so nobody can join me. You know what? Let's ring the bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. You guys can't hear that, but it's okay. Also, why didn't that play? Let me figure out. Replay this activity. No, you're just not going to play it? Bomberman with the 5. I'm riding high on being blocked by Bonk. I know that sounds pathetic, but that's funny as fuck. Thank you, Bomberman. Yeah, being blocked by Bonk is really interesting. Wow, that's fucking weird. Why is it not playing anymore? Fuck it. I don't got time. Why are you doing that? Why did you do that? But it works. It's there. You know what? I got no time, chat. So we got some exclusive A-Dot content. For those who don't know, A-Dot is a content creator who made the ACC video and then super deleted himself off the internet. Main reason from what I'm hearing why he did that is people found out about his associations with North. For those who don't know, North was a content creator who was sexting a 12-year-old when he was like 17, 18. And funny enough, it seems like people like A-Dot and Enla, yeah, Enla, I don't forget that. I don't know you, bitch, but I know this about you. Somewhat, defended this thing, thought, kind of like swept it under the fucking rug. Doesn't think people fucking remember, but we fucking do. Listen, I don't know Enla, but I will say I do not give a fuck. Everything I've heard nothing nice about Enla. It's insane to me that the idea that is a thing. Enla stream when? Never. Who the fuck? What am I going to stream about it? They're boring as fuck. Bro, I'll swing. What's Enla going to do? Fucking stream on me? Come on, bitch. Enla calls everyone else sweepers, but she swept for North. Yeah, ain't that crazy? Isn't it weird that every hater of Lio, which again, you can hate Lio, I don't give a fuck. Isn't it weird that every hater of Lio fucking swings for the rafters and misses? I say this every single time, and I recommend Beckett's stream when the Leia goes on stream. My metric of Lio haters is Leia. Like, unironically. Because Leia stopped when she felt like she was becoming over personal with the hate of Lio, still disagrees with a lot of Lio things, but doesn't freak the fuck out. Like, you have to understand, like, you were nervous, but like, you did well, because I think it's like actually important to identify this. You highlighted like what upset you, and you stopped. You sparked a little bit with the I will say the Bo Black shit was the worst take you could have ever fucking given, but like you recognized like what was bad about it and moved on. That is incredibly important. Like, when you start getting, like, I realized that for myself. I think I publicly said this. I realized that with my coverage regarding the KP stuff, specifically because of Lazy. When Lazy and I became friends, I kind of just like realized that as mean as I fucking was to her, she took it on the chin and just moved the fuck on from it, and then we just became tight. And I've always been incredibly grateful by that. So I try to be as chill as humanly possible with like people that don't do something insane, obviously. Yeah, I don't like or trust Lyle, but I trust you and Becca to call him out if he steps out of line in the future. I mean, like, shit. I thought Dreamer call number 2, I thought the second Dreamer call was fucking terrible. I thought that I made that known. I thought it was fucking terrible. And not like, oh my God, it's insane. It was just like, okay, you said that you're going to ignore Dreamer. You re-engaged with Dreamer. Okay, just say you want to re-engage with Dreamer. Then we can judge if like you're re-engaging with a content creator or not. Which again, hindsight is 2020. Maybe I was meaner than I was. Again, during the size stuff, everyone said I was too hard on Lio. And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I hold fast. But again, it's all fine. But let's listen to a little bit of A-Dot and what the fuck is going on over here.
Attempts on this. I've had to record like 3 attempts. I am going to be doing kind of an MF Doom kind of thing where I'm just making a brand new artist. He just pops up out of nowhere, you know, and pops up on the internet. That's kind of what I want to do for the next artist and stuff.
So you're running. So you make a bad video. You run to Discords, which, listen, I'm not going to pull them up. But yes, I have been handed and made aware of what happened in Malcolm's Discord with this person. Why is this not playing? Oh, this is going to piss me off. Why is it magically not playing? Hold up, chat. I'm going to fix this in 20 seconds. There's a way to fix this. I'm going to fix this in 20 seconds. Give me 1 second. Like, that's going to annoy me for holy shit. Come on, come on. So I find the way you fix that whole thing is I have to redo the tips thing. So let's see if it'll play now. Replay activity. Come on. Oh, it's just broken. Oh, that's cool. It's just broken now. Okay, whatever. I have never seen Fauci, Sam Cedar, or Tom Hanks in the same room. Did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut? Bro needs some space. Oh, fuck you. I can't stop putting up stuff in my room. I can't read these right now. I'm actually really annoyed that this is broken. Why is this broken? Hold up. What if I reset this? What if I hold up. I want to test something. It's gonna fucking bother me. Hold up. Let me see if I can refresh it. What happens if I refresh it? Will it start playing if I refresh it? Oh, this is gonna bother me. Oh, there we go. I fixed it.
Tusky Me Brawler main tipped $1. I have never seen Falgi, Sam Cedar, or Tom Hanks in the same room. Did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut? Bro just needed some space. I can't stop putting storage under my roof. I'm Attic Ted. How do you make holy water? Boil the hell out of it.
Thank you. Hold on. I'm also going to remove that goal and change it because it did the thing where it didn't go to the type of super chats I wanted. There we go. Now it should be fixed. There we go.
So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to kill A.J, and I'm totally cool with that, you know, because it just doesn't feel right doing A.J anymore. Like, if I'll be honest.
Is it because people found out you most likely swept for North? Is it because people found out that you swept for North? And you kept him around because you wanted to make a video in 2024? So here's been my running theory. If you guys really want to know my running theory, this video was supposed to come out in 2024, 2025. The reason it doesn't come out is because of the North stuff. Because North, from what I can tell, was going to be involved regarding Just a Robot. I have that message. I might play that as well. But North was supposed to be involved in the research for this video. And I would assumedly say Enla then. So I'm gonna be honest. Unless Enla is gonna just say, hey, I was never a part of A.'s video. I'm also at a certain point in time gonna assume Enla was involved in the creation of this video, which just points out more why Enla's a worthless fucking waste of space. Listen, I don't know if that's true, but you know, I don't know. That's just the game theory.
With you, I haven't really had that much fun being A.J. It just doesn't really feel like me. And
he says, well, when he made the videos, he's so excited for more of these wacky deep dives. Guys, he's going to make a Lily Orchard video. He's going to make all these videos. He's so excited because his pan pizza video did so well. Guys, he just doesn't want to be him anymore.
I think I'm going to try something new. I've been listening to a lot more experimental music, so A.J is going to disappear for a couple months, and I will be back when I'm back. I'm gonna not delete this account though. I have disabled Nitro though. I've canceled my subscription and I'm going to...
Okay, so here's the real talk. I'll say this. I'll actually say this. I said this before. I'll say this again. If someone has access to A.J, I will interview them. They can come live. I will be as kind as humanly possible. I'm not Beckett. You didn't talk about me in the video. You fucked up the story that I broke. And you also said that you were going to do a Brad Taste video. Again, you could have reached out like June the King did, for instance. Listen, again, if someone has access to A.J, I will interview him. He doesn't need to disappear. Just own up that it was a bad video, and that's okay. We'll talk it out. I don't know every ACC thing. I would need a fucking rundown of it. So you could just say your shit, and I'll just chill. I'll chill.
Focus on the next step from here, but...
Who uses Nitro? I do. I use Nitro. To be fair, I use Nitro for the server. As a content creator, Nitro is good and bad because, like, if you're exchanging files to other people, like other content creators, yeah, having Nitro is good.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my family about it there. I was gonna say I had a conversation with my family about it, so...
I had a conversation with my family about my nothing YouTube career. Bro, I've explained this. Cloudy's there, right? Well, Cloudy wasn't there for the first one. but Cloudy was definitely there for the second one. I've tried to explain to my family the YouTube thing. They don't get it. They don't get it. Like specifically my parents. Which like I try to explain it the best way possible. They don't like, they never got it. I will say the first time I did it wasn't great. Because I said, oh yeah, I found a pedophile on the internet. And my parents didn't understand. Oh, that was a good one. Oh boy, that was fun.
I think this change is gonna work, so hopefully it does. But yeah, this is A.J signing off. I'm leaving the internet. See ya.
What a gay way to sign off.
But I'm not deleting my accounts.
So again, he is not deleting his accounts. Meanwhile, he deleted all of his social media accounts and his YouTube channel. So that is deleting all your accounts, by the way. Now, I have this message that Burn sent me. I sent it over. I think I sent it to Chris the Narc. I know I sent it to Beckett, but I think Chris asked for it too. So let me grab it real quick. So this, from what I remember, is supposed to be in relation to the North stuff. Leia, you get mentioned. Leia, you get thrown under the bus again. This guy can't keep your name out his fucking mouth. So you knew since late 2024. Wait. So you would have known. Oh my god.
A. used to be terrified of me back in the day, lol.
Like talk about A. for a second, right? I mean, North for a second. I've always said this. I got contacted by North after my Dan's Burst video, and I didn't know who he was. So I accepted the friend request, and I was like, okay, sure. I don't know who he is. I've heard him around, but whatever, right? I never answered the DM. The week later, he got exposed. And I was like, well, I dodged the bullet because I didn't know what the fuck this guy was. And so I'm like, oh, well, I mean, that was easy. Oh my god, that's so fucking funny. Oh, that's so funny. All right, let's see what else we got here. What else? Oh, shit.
I brought him in here because I was gonna have him
didn't realize.
explain
Hold up.
his conversation with Himpleton.
I didn't know that I wasn't playing it live. Whoopsies. Wait, could you? No, whoops. Let me start that again from the top, and I'll speed it up because I fucking forgot. Whatever.
To provide context, I knew about the situation back in late 2024. I should have brought this to Leia's attention, or I should have brought this to somebody else's attention, because in all honesty, if I would have brought it to Leia, then I would have brought it to like more people, and more people would have been talking about it, because I knew about this whole thing, because I've gotten the chance to know North for a while, and I brought him in here because I was going to have him explain his conversation with Himpleton, not Himpleton, but Just a Robot. I was going to have him do that whole explanation thing in here, but when I found out about the pedophile shit, I called him out on it in the server immediately, so
he knew about it, but he called him out. But coincidentally, that's not what happened. From what I understand. Because if that was the case, you'd have evidence of that. You would have presented that evidence and you wouldn't have deleted off the internet, which is a bizarre thing to do. If you're like, yeah, I called him out, why not present the evidence? Why not present it? I'd be so totally down and be like, yeah, Burn's lying. Oh my god, okay.
it was, I mean, to some it was seen as a joke, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't really fully investigated, but I thought it was fucking creepy what he did. Anyway, and for this information to be, fully out there now, it's honestly nice. It's the full story, and I didn't want to cover it because I don't really care about this kind of stuff anymore. This is not for me, but I've known about it since October or November, and I've always thought North was kind of weird.
So you thought North was weird. You knew about it before it came out. You said that you called them out, but there's no public call out because you would have shown the public call out. Why do I feel like that's not what happened? Why do I feel that like that's not what happened? Something smells fishy, because if somebody's telling me, if I am like, if Byrne is going like, hey, this guy was associated with North and he was far more associated with North than he actually is like letting on, I definitely would be like, oh, I have this like ready and prepared, right? Like I would have just had that. Yeah, it was investigated. He admitted to it. Yeah. Which Enla knew about it, but didn't think it was concerning and didn't publicly say anything. I think that that's the same thing with A-Dot. I think A-Dot, Enla, very similar. They knew about it. They just didn't publicly talk about it. They were just going to quietly disassociate or just not care about it. And that's always the wrong move when it comes to things like pedophilia. And again, like, listen, it's just so fucking weird, dog.
The only reason I brought him into here was because I was going to have him talk about the whole, just the robot thing and for him to provide context. But he could have been lying about that too. So yeah, no, fuck this guy. That's all I'm going to say.
But wait, that means you still had him when you could have known that was, huh? That doesn't, oh, that was the wrong thing. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Falgi, should I skip my anti-biomeds tonight?
No.
Rhinoceros emoji.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's, you should send it. I think I already did I not send it to Vlad? Maybe. Maybe I'll send it to Vlad. If I didn't, I thought I showed Vlad that already. Because I know that, because that was sent to Lio, and then Lio sent that to me. Or did Byrne send that to me? I can't remember who sent that to me. No, I think Byrne sent it to me, actually. But yeah, because Byrne has a lot of stuff, like a Google Doc and everything on this guy, like when they were all associated with one another. It's a whole fucking confusing thing. But again, at the end of the day, this guy DFE'd for like no fucking reason. Like, you just stand on business, been like, you know what? Fuck it. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Enla came back. Enla's still around.
Cloudy said I can skip them. I'ma listen to her.
That's okay. So he tried to have a pedo be in a group call with him. Am I getting this right? So North is a really interesting topic. Maybe one day we'll look into it. Vlad has a video on it. Maybe we'll watch it. North is a really weird topic because, listen, I do think that a 17-year-old having sexual conversations with a 12-year-old is just fucking gross, disgusting, and fucking shame that man. I don't know if he turned 18 when he did it too, which will also be a huge issue, by the way. Still bad, right? But I know other people covered it. I think Ace covered it too. I think Ace broke the story first, from what I've been told. Maybe I'll have the both of them on. Who the fuck knows? That's to say it doesn't matter if he's 17. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know some people like some people like, oh, well, the severity, he wasn't an adult. Yeah, like, it's still fucking disgusting. Like, no holds bar, still fucking insane, still fucking disgusting. I've talked about this before in the past. It's just so weird. Like, the North stuff, incredibly bizarre. Don't talk to kids. It's the bar none. Yes, Slug. Yes, Slug. We know. Yes, we know, buddy.
It's illegal for a 17 years old to sext a 12 years old. Yeah. Rhinoceros emoji.
Thank you, Slug.
Rhinoceros emoji.
Thank you, Slug. Thank you, Slug. Thank you, Slug. Thank you, Slug. Again, I ain't fucking, like, it's just like, this guy's association with North is, like, actually really interesting now. Let's see, display capture. Let's put the display capture off now. We'll go window capture, display capture off. Enla and maybe A-Dot knew beforehand it did nothing, most likely. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. And no wonder this dude just fucking DFE'd, because, like, insane.
It's not for you. It's for chat. Boomer, rhinoceros emoji, rhinoceros emoji.
Thank you for the ooh. Thank you. But yes, chat. That's all we know about A-Dot right now. Like I said, if A-Dot wants to come live and discuss his fucking video, I'll give him a fair shake. Texting a minor, identifying a zoo all while under 18. Yeah, that's fucking insane, Lego. If A-Dot wants to come on, let it be. But there we go. What was I gonna say? Now, chat, for the video I've been waiting for many, many moons, it is Shamu's video on Tectone. I have waited for this video for so long. I have begged for this video for forever. I have literally talked to Shamu about this video. Oh, I am so excited to finally watch this video. So for the last time, we all know Tectone. I am not really going to go over everything about Tectone and the history of Rapetone himself, but we never really went over Tectone's return stream and return statements. That was never a part of my coverage. And part of the reason why is I was waiting for Tectone's video. Shamu's video. Because I knew Shamu would cover it. I really like Shamu's videos on this subject. I liked his Will Stancil video, which we've covered. I find Shamu's videos very good. Same thing with like Rob's Media, whom has done his OTK video that I am very excited to do. It's been on the back burner. So I am very, very excited to watch this. I've been waiting for this fucking video. Without further ado, the from Shamu, Tectone's career-ending court case. Let me make sure the volume is good. I'll put captions on. I'll put it at 1.25 just for people, because I know sometimes speed is an issue for people. And let's get into it.
It's been 8 months since my first video on Tectone covering
8 months!
tumultuous and allegation-ridden relationships. Since then, a judge ruled in civil court that based on evidence and testimony presented, that Tectone likely raped,
a familial obligated rapist,
stalked,
Goon juice texture.
Oh my god! Already, we're not even fucking, how many, we're 12 seconds in. Baller, done, video's perfect, there's nothing wrong, perfect, everything crazy. What an exact fucking, oh god, that clip timed amazingly. Holy shit.
I'm stalking you.
and was a self-admitted oofy-doofy schizophrenic.
I'm schizophrenic and I have a gun. I'm a very dangerous man.
So I said this, shout out to Heartful Opinions, because he had the, oh no, shout out to Connor of Internet Versus. By the way, fuck you YouTube for allowing the flagging of the Internet Versus video using literal clips and comments that are publicly available on YouTube. That's fucked up. But I had this I commented under Harville Opinions Twitter post, and I'm like, this guy talks about running through people, like running through phantoms in his car, because he thought that, like, he can't tell if there's a person in front of him or not, but he runs through them because if he actually kills someone, well, I guess that was his time. And this man owns firearms. How does he, as an alleged hallucinogenic schizophrenic, own firearms and be like, oh, well, maybe that person's there? It's an insane clip.
If you are unaware and want to know more on the timeline of Tectone's history, be sure to check out my first video on him. However, briefly, in February of 2024, Tectone's ex-wife Freem was going to come out with SA allegations against him. Lawsuits in court fair would then lock these allegations under an NDA. However, later, Tectone's ex-girlfriend Pink Chu would also make allegations, which this time became public. These allegations being made would ignite a long battle between the two, which would end up in civil court, where a judge found that there were reasonable grounds to believe that Tectone committed SA and stalking. Pink Chu would file for a protection order on August 21st of 2025, just 1 month after my second video, and it wasn't until January 23rd of 2026 that a trial would take place with everything on the line.
They go after my family and they call me a generational rapist in front of 1.2 million people. It's been a wild ride because I'm telling you, when I get exonerated, I'm going nuclear. I did everything for you. I helped.
Wow! Wow! Weird!
I own firearms. It's not shocking tech has M.
Weird! Weird! Why would he, all these clips? I wonder if this looks bad to a judge. Weird, chat. I don't know. Do these clips look bad? I'm going nuclear. Like, all of these clips, as someone who read the court filings, really weird how you said this consistently and constantly.
With everything. I fixed everything for you. I was there for you like nobody else was there for you in your whole life. I fantasize about getting the report that says your case has been indefinitely suspended.
They call him a generational rapist? Yes.
Be sure to like the video and leave a comment as it helps with the algorithm. If you want to support, you can do so with the links on screen now. This video will look to illustrate why Tectone lost his case in such a spectacular fashion. By considering testimony, court and medical records, along with greater contextual evidence from what Tectone has said on his streams, it should become quite clear why Tectone lost his case. Beyond the courtroom, we will also look at how Tectone has leveraged his relationships with other online creators to defend him, issue talking points, and in some cases directly attack Pink, who had just been given a 10-year protection order against him. Tectone could be seen as a use case for what not.
Hey, isn't it crazy to feature Think Before You Sleep? I wonder how that'll be fucking relevant. Chat. Oh, this is gonna be a good fucking video.
To do when accused of SA. In court, Pink had medical records of a lip injury sustained during the alleged assault. So what does Tectone do? Talks about and confirms the injury on stream.
You know what you can't do to women who have lip filler? You can't their mouth because it'll rupture the fucking lip filler.
More on this later. Tectone was represented by Jeffrey Puryear, who has experience.
Yeah, ain't it weird that he just immediately fucking knew? Weird how, like, oh, she brings this up, has medical records to it, immediately fucking knows. Oddly specific, Tectone.
In cases involving SA and abuse allegations. On his front page, the one case that is listed in detail is a summary of a man he represented who was accused of abusing his stepdaughter. After Mr. Puryear represented him, he was found not guilty. Pink Chu was represented by Michelle L. Locke, who specializes in divorce, custody, and protective order applications. In Tectone's lawyer's opening statement in just the second paragraph, it contradicts what Tectone has lied to his audience in the past about. It states, quote, "It's true that the applicant, or Pink, never paid rent," end quote. However, during Tectone's original response to these allegations, he claimed the exact opposite.
You say that I would say.
This lawyer. Now, let's highlight something, because this comes to the Think Before You Sleep video. Think Before You Sleep never references what Tectone's lawyer is actually good at. Technically, these two should have been on equal footing, because he got someone who is proficient in defending and refuting cases of sexual assault and misconduct. And if she had a lawyer who was good at family court stuff, as well as protective orders and SA. Shocker, I know. It's almost like they're, because like Think Before You Sleep's video keeps calling Tectone's lawyer a Chad. However, he lost the case. So I guess he's not that good of a lawyer. Or, now wait for it, Tectone is just a really bad client. Because, as Shamu is about to present, because Tectone consistently and constantly talked about this case and tried to argue it in the court of public opinion, there's enough evidence that refutes the statements he would go forward with in court.
Do your job, you don't pay rent. This is factually untrue. Here is you paying rent, not one time, but multiple times. That is you paying rent.
He has also claimed the opposite of this as well.
It's Pink's responsibility. The reality is that she's in my house role-playing as a goth Hooters order or waitress. And honestly, it's really annoying because the reality is she doesn't pay rent. The reality is she doesn't pay rent.
What Tectone was trying to sleight of hand here is that Pink originally was not paying rent. Allegedly, when Tectone made it Pink's job to perform oral acts on him in lieu of paying rent, she asserted that she wanted to pay rent. So Tectone's lawyer's opening statement, totally contradicting his own public response to
Hey, wait, he got an actual fucking picture of him? Okay, I feel bad for this guy now. Bro, reading the defense attorney, trying to keep Tectone on fucking topic was so insane.
allegations is a good sign as to how this trial would go.
Oh my God!
Flesh out some of the allegations being made and the start of their relationship. Quote, he told me, he said, I could change your life. I'm in OTK. I have connections. You should just move in with me. You won't have to pay rent, and I will help you, and you can try to help me. Here's some vitamins, and was like, I'll change your life, and we'll get you better, and kept telling me that he's going to change my career. In regards to OTK, the org Tectone was a part of, she stated, they have pretty much control in Austin to make and break your career. Whether you get invited to collaborations or get sponsorships, they also have control, and the owners own one of the largest management companies that I was on.
And this was, this is just 100% true about OTK, which is really interesting that people have left OTK either of their own volition or because they've been ostracized. Like, the whole Asmongold stuff is really fascinating with Mythic Talent too. The allegations associated now with Mythic Talent potentially skimming from at least one that we know of. One talent is really interesting to me. I want to see where that goes. It probably really won't, but we already know that Mythic Talent, and yes, you can't blame every talent agency, but the whole fake fucking LSF thing, Mythic Talent was a huge part of that.
Also a part of at the time, or he got me into, because that was another promise he said he could do. According to Pink, originally she was doing graphic design and thumbnails for Tectone to compensate for paying rent, but this would become warped over time. Quote, I just would help him with some thumbnails. So in my assumption, it would just be helping him because I do graphic design and media. So I make his thumbnails and edit some things for him. It went from make this thumbnail for me to he kept telling me to suck his and at the time he would tell me, do your job, you don't pay rent. And those are the words that I clearly remember. Okay, and how soon after you moved in did those issues begin? Pretty right away. I think once he had said that in particular, I felt the
And this is all stuff we read in the court case. So I probably will, I probably won't say much about it, but I remember reading this in the case. And now we didn't read everything. We didn't read her cross-examination. Then in hindsight, I probably should have. Because there was a little bit more that, not necessarily she couldn't refute, but we did get to see a little bit more Tectone's evidence that, in all fairness, wasn't that great, but still existed. Because obviously the credibility of her mental health was in question, yada, yada, yada. Did she really do because of Tectone? Is she just fucking mentally ill? That was what was the topic of the conversation. It's very bizarre. Oh, fucking fun fact, because I haven't talked about it very often, and there's 128 of you, besides the fact, like and subscribe. I don't usually shout out people very often. I really don't. But what? I'm misreading the reading. What?
Falgi, I missed the reading. Read it again.
There's multiple videos on the channel. There's multiple videos on the channel specifically that will do that. Also, I don't usually shout out other channels. But if you guys don't know, Cloudy has started streaming. You could find the links to it in the Discord. I really, it's not because she's my girlfriend, the love of my life. I really encourage you guys to go over and watch Cloudy. I've actually had so much fun in those fucking streams because of the fact that it is drama. Like, book talk stuff is stuff I'd never touch, by the way. And I would never touch it because we've done a little bit of book talk stuff, like Daddy's Little Toy, that book and stuff. But just the funness of the stuff that she covers is actually really, really fun. She got recommended to you guys. Dope. That means I have taught her how to tag well.
disgusted, and then told him I wanted to pay rent. And that's why soon after, towards the end, I believe it was the end of
What do you mean? You shout out Saber, Lazy, Ace, and... I mean, yeah, Ace is a smaller channel. That is true.
February, I started paying rent. I gave him $1,000. I said I didn't like that dynamic. It made me feel disgusting. What Pink Chu alleges in her testimony paints Tectone as a very manipulative person. Whenever I had complaints about how he was treating me or anything, he said because I'm autistic, my version of reality is not like normal people, and that he would have to explain to me what was really going on. And you all had a journal, is that...
Falgi won't cover the Toku drama going on RN. Sad.
Is it the drama that people don't like Gav? I actually like Gav. It just feels like Sentai. I understand people don't like it. I like it. What was I gonna say? Wow, Cloudy's getting recommended to you guys? That's awesome. YouTube recommending her has nothing to do with you? No, I've taught her how to do tags. Shut up. It has everything to do with me. What was I gonna say? This part of the drama, this part of the court case, I found so fucking astounding to me.
It's the community murder drama.
It's time to feed that pupper. It's time to give her treats. It's time to feed that dog now. On the Uplock stream tonight. Yes, everybody, it's time to feed that dog. Come on, girl. And like I said before, if you want to make stickers for the chat, for the stream, you can do that, by the way. Just submit them.
All right. I kind of just started one. He had me write a list of things he said that were wrong with me that he said I needed to give my psychiatrist. And then he later graded me on the things he thinks I need to work on.
What's really fun about this camera, I knew it would work great, right? But Pink is stupid and she has this thing called social anxiety.
And what did he say that you needed to go see a psychiatrist for? That my memory recollection was incorrect. I believe I wrote it in my journal. I can't remember by specific.
I can't tell you how many times I go into something with good faith. The other person doesn't have proper memory recollection, gets confused about what they're doing, the stress of the situation gets to them, and then they say, oh, this is not the word, but they'll say things.
2025.
I made a sticker but you rejected it. Foul Jippo.
It's specifically Leia. It could be you guys giving her a treat, too.
He's like, oh, you gaslighted me, you manipulated me, you're strawmanning me.
He said I was immature, that my memory recollection was incorrect, that my phrasing, he would say things and then I would phrase it incorrectly, that I lacked communication skills, that I was depressed and dooming a lot, that I wasn't a positive person.
Hey, Ula with the 7 months! Thank you, dude!
Atalaid Uncreative became a member. Atalaid Uncreative celebrates 7 months of membership. Not doing the best right now, but I hope and chat are doing well. Y'all have a good night.
Ula, I am sorry, I had to grab. Ula, I'm so sorry you're not doing the best right now. You are always welcome in the Discord. You're always welcome here. You know that. You've been here a lot longer than 7 months. So I do hope that you're doing better. Please, obviously, do what you need to do. Reach out to those who love you. Do those things.
At the Weaver Off Dreams became
Weaver
a
for
member.
15 months. Holy shit!
The Weaver Off Dreams celebrates 15 months of membership. Oh, we got the 15-monther.
Yeah. Ula, like, don't worry. You don't need to be here. If money's tight, you don't need to spend. You just watching the stream and enjoying it is always what I care about more.
Not independent enough. I was paranoid and I had no emotional control. He could continue by claiming Tectone would have her write a list on paper of what she needed to tell her doctors during her online appointments.
And then I pull out the whiteboard.
Another insane thing we got out of this trial was that Tectone, when he had a disagreement with Pink or when he wanted to explain why her memory recollection of events was incorrect, would actually sit Pink down at a whiteboard and John Madden gameplay.
Fucking insane. If your boyfriend does this to you, if your boyfriend, girlfriend, partner does this to you, I'm not advocating murder. But get the fuck out of Dodge. If you gotta misery them for a second before they misery you, like, this is an insane thing to do. I'll never forget. So I had a former girlfriend whom we lived together during the pandemic, and she got a therapist. And I was here, and it was during the pandemic, so I was either at work or I was just in the house. And I was in the house that time. I was in my apartment. And the therapist, she was complaining about me to the therapist. And the therapist was like being nice to me, apparently. The week later, she got rid of that therapist. It was insane. I had never fucking heard that before. Insane!
Why she can't remember events clearly or why he's correct on something they disagree about. Pink's lawyer says to Tectone, you actually would sit her down with a whiteboard and go over everything to convince her she was wrong, right?
I'm failing to see how these two connect.
Tectone AI is so good! Tectone AI!
But I don't understand, what do you, in what regard? We have talked with a whiteboard before.
Yeah, and you would use a whiteboard to show her that she was wrong in whatever position she was taking, that you all were disagreeing on, correct?
Oh, if we were to have an argument, then we weren't seeing eye to eye. Visual aid really helped her as well as her to me. This was another very frequent commonality where I would have to sit down with her and I would tell you exactly what I did. I would take her, I would run the shower in the bathroom because it would be nice background noise because I know autistic people get overwhelmed from noises. So I would put that on to calm her. I would sit her on the floor and we would sit there for hours as I would bring out the...
I want to point something out. I date someone with autism. You know what I don't do? Tell them how to feel better in their autism. Like Cloudy will like make fun of me for this because she's Cloudy will make fun of me for this because she'll be like she'll be like, why, like, because I when she, like, when we have arguments, right? And listen, I'm ADHD. She knows how to deal with me too. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that I fucking mansplain autism to Cloudy or anything. Because she 100% deals with my ADHD ass. But like, we kind of just know how to deal with each other's like mental health conditions, and part of that is giving each other fucking space. You know, I ran the shower because it helps her with their autism. It's the most insane thing I have ever heard in my life. Why not buy a white noise machine, motherfucker? You guys got the money.
Coloring board, and I would draw out the issues that you were experiencing, and I would help you through each and every single one of your problems. And I did this from start to finish. Every time you had an issue.
And do you know what coercive control is?
Yes.
And you told her that she had memory problems, right?
I believe we have had discussions on her memory not being, as sharp as attack. Sure, I'm sure we've had conversations about memories.
Besides game planning like John Madden with Pink on how she couldn't remember anything, Tectone was also guiding her as to what medication she should be taking. Pink's lawyer asked Tectone,
which is insane because this motherfucker was an alleged. Now, I think the schizophrenia was a total lie. I personally think, and this is me, and if Tectone wants to prove me wrong, I'll release all your medical records, motherfucker. I personally think the schizophrenia was a lie. What I think it either was sleep deprivation, or he pretended to be schizophrenic to fuck with his friends. That's what it feels like to me. Because you don't just get cured of schizophrenia.
Damn Tectone giving A+ dating advice.
Yeah, thank you. And also, people get ruled out for schizophrenia. Don't get me wrong, those conditions can get ruled out. But the idea is he went from I have schizophrenia to, oh, I just got stabbed in the eye. Insane.
did you tell her what things to tell her therapist to get prescribed certain medications?
I definitely tried to help her understand.
Yeah, and it's like CD Player said, like, it's insane that we rode, and I know some people will disagree. I think that it's perfectly fine to make fun of and mock Boogie for his whole cancer shit. Because I don't for a fucking second believe that once Boogie heard of polycythemia or polycythemia vera, that he didn't stop going to the doctors and they didn't tell him he didn't have cancer. I think the motherfucker knew the entire time and they milked it. And again, no hate on the milking it. I'll hate the fucking person though. Hate the player, don't hate the game. But like, it's just so fucking insane that like all of these people, Nuxtaku, Leaflet, anyone who defends Think Before You Sleep, all these fucking people that defend Tectone, leave out the schizophrenia thing. Like, it's so weird. Like, a perfect example, right? Some people may or may not know who Riley is, if you're coming from Diesel's community or Beckett's community, and the ongoing thing with social repose. So Riley recently made a video saying that, oh, by the way, I had to go to the hospital because the video making, like, all the drama got so bad. I found out I'm not BPD. I think I've been lying for years about having BPD. And she's apparently editing every single video she's ever made to cut out BPD. I didn't know she marketed herself as the healthy BPD girly. Why would you do that? Why would you actually do that? And like, listen, I have no hate towards Riley. I think she's like fucking crazy. But like crazy in the way of like she's too attached to the internet. Like she's addicted to the content creation and the grind. But I have no hate towards her, but that's such a weird thing to do. And like, yeah, that sucked. I mean, you could still like her. I'm not telling you to stop watching her. I just think she's like too addicted to the grind mindset and it's like brain broken her. It's so weird.
try to help her make sense of what's going on in her head. She wanted to tell me this is kind of happening to me, and I'd say, well, maybe it's this. I definitely tried to help her in her journey to therapy and medication.
Pink's lawyer paints this picture to the court, this controlling guy using whiteboards for hours to explain to his girlfriend why she can't remember anything correctly, what pill she...
Okay, I know a lot of people will bitch about the use of AI. Typically, I will bitch about the use of AI. In this instance, to make memes, we allow it. Because, not gonna lie, this is how AI should be used.
should be on, and what to tell doctors to get said pills. Directly after this, Pink's lawyer passes the witness, and Tectone's rep has nothing to say or add on to any of this. My takeaway, and I'm not a lawyer obviously, but Tectone's team must think that getting any further clarity on these topics will only make their client look worse. Why else wouldn't there be?
Yes, this is, and I called this while we were reading it, I believe, where I was like, there's like, why does it feel like Pink did months of research and Tectone did 15 minutes of research, and to come in and be like, well, if I had more time, this was months long case. You had so much time to do, and it, like, for instance, with this schizophrenia, why didn't you come in with a diagnosis? Weird. That seems odd.
Any pushback or further questioning. You really have to admire how poorly Tectone has handled this situation, which would inevitably make him look awful in court. At one point, Pink filed a cease and desist against him. So even after going to the police, he still would not stop harassing me, and I had an attorney send him a cease and desist, telling him I had gone to the police and he needs to leave me alone. Did that stop him? No. In fact, he went public and laughed about it, said, she sent me a cease and desist for defaming her, but I'm going to keep defaming her.
I got sent a cease and desist about 3 months ago, saying I need to stop defaming my ex, and then I continue saying the exact same shit that I've been saying. And the only thing that I got for Pink was a cease and desist. Because
what a fucking moron. What a fucking moron. Right? Like, for instance, I know that, like, KP has wanted to do that to me. By no means have I attacked KP. I have no personal interactions with KP. Honestly speaking, she's attacked me more than I've ever fucking attacked her. It's always been publicly reacting to her public videos. This is insane. They had and like, this, like, people gotta understand, they had a private relationship. A private relationship that, when continued in the public eye, he kept going after her.
Pink sent me a fucking cease and desist to stop defaming her 8 months ago. And I've been going live and saying the same shit that I've been saying for 8 months. That's okay. More and more. It gets worse every day for everybody else besides me. She even has a cease and desist on me. Right? She sent me a cease.
The fact that he just kept doing this throughout 2024, 2025 is insane.
Desist. And I've never stopped talking a single time. All women with big tits. She fucking bought those too. So, like, they just
more 2025.
Like, what?
These are like the same day, different times in the stream. Jesus.
Like, this is a 30-year-old woman saying this shit. I had to fucking take care of her ass after surgery. All because the bitch couldn't just say things didn't work out. She got guys. To give you
same fucking day.
Even more context, I'm currently on a cease and desist by her.
Tectone would make so many subtweets and threats towards Pink that she put together an archive and list of these occurrences, which is almost 200 pages long. Pink's lawyer asked, and what kind of threats was he making online? I have a timeline of everything, but it was mainly, I'm going to sue you. He's also made threats that he's going to ruin me, that everybody was going to know the truth, that he was coming after me, that there were explicit material that he shared with multiple people, and that he will post them online if I don't retract statements. And it is almost 200 pages of it.
And don't worry, guys. I got something cooking for her. And man,
hey, look, it's that same July 21st stream from last year.
You are going to love that. And now you've built your entire image on lies. And do you know what's going to happen when those lies crumble, Pink? You lose everything because you're a liar. Yep. And that's what's going to happen. Why y'all think Pink don't talk about me no more? Because she knows she's
because she did the right thing and stopped talking about you and her made a case look incredibly good. Now, if you want to claim that Pink was malicious, let's go there for a second. Because I will say, one part that not necessarily that I agree with Tectone about, but one part I find a little bit unreasonable is this idea that you two are dating, He lets you live there for free. Like at a certain point, yeah, sex was going to be involved in you two dating. That's why you move in your girlfriend. Yeah. Now, that's probably the only thing where I'll go, yeah, there's a level of naivety that if that is the case, I like it's too naive. But that's as far as I'll go. Just saying it's too naive. Everything else and all the other instances within their relationship and all of these clips, I don't know, brother. I don't know.
She knows she's yep. All she'll do is pin old tweets. She won't tweet anything new because she knows she's yep. Won't say which is weird because before she had all this to talk about. But man, Pink, if only you knew the that I knew. But don't worry, you'll find out. And what's crazy is, Pink, and I'm gonna let you know, I would still forgive you if you apologized publicly, of course. That's what's crazy. But you won't, and it's gonna be great to see what happens. You had to say, nah, he did all that. No, I didn't. Shut the f up. Because your ass always got to cry about some bullshit. They're gonna say, well, he my family, he bombed my house, he set fire to a 7-Eleven, and he hit me. It's like, just fucking shut up.
Even after Pink filed a protection
None of that she said, by the way.
order in August 2025, Tectone was still making threats on his Twitter.
Hey, Kiram. Thank you.
I have a friend who is a licensed CNA and DMT, and she said people self-diagnosed themselves with schizophrenia.
Yeah, so this was an interesting thing that came up. The small divert, right? Small divert. This is something that came up in the Chulie stuff. It came up on Monsters DMs, yada 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 yada. Medical advocacy is not the same thing as self-diagnosis. It's a very fine and nuanced line between advocacy and neurosis. Advocate for yourselves, especially if you feel like you're unrepresented or being undertreated. Listen, I'll say this straight up. If you are a pregnant woman of minority, specifically if you're a black woman and pregnant, please advocate for yourself. There's a lot of it's just a reality known in the OB space that black women specifically and black pregnancies are there's complications that go undertreated. It's very, very sad. Healthcare is constantly, and we've tried to make strides to do that. I don't like OB. It's not my thing, but it is incredibly sad to see that. And I hate that. It breaks my heart every time.
They're going to hate what I found today. Your loss is now even more inevitable. Now I wait, winky face.
Attached to this tweet were decapitated heads of an anime. Okay, and when you see these messages that he posts like this, how did you interpret them? How did it make you feel? Like he's coming after me. Okay, has he made threats about going nuclear when the legal situation between you and he ends? Yes, I believe it was at the time he was showing his guns and things.
And pretty much all of my homies and
oh fuck, he has this one.
myself included are just like, all right, because I'm telling you, when I get exonerated, I'm going nuclear. I'm just being straight up. I am counting the days, bro. I fantasize.
Okay, and in fact, he's indicated
Oh God!
on social media that he's schizophrenic and is strapping, referring to weapons. Is that correct? Yes.
Dead people can talk. That's what people will learn very soon.
Holy fucking shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! While he's wearing the gun shirt, I have a gun and I'm what is it? I have a gun and I'm schizophrenic is the fucking shirt, and he's like, dead people talk. Brother, none of this looks good. What an insane thing to say.
I know everything, and that's why they fear me, and that's why they try to discredit me. And once again, guys, I'm schizophrenic and I have a gun. I'm a very dangerous man.
What am I suspicious?
You can't say this jokingly in the middle of a ongoing litigation. Perfect example is Alex Jones. So Alex Jones, during the Sandy Hook case, which if you've never watched anything of the families who sued Alex Jones, I really, really encourage it. It is some of the best civil litigation and like fucking rake stepping I've ever seen. If you don't know, during the court case, Alex Jones, whether he's committing to the bit or you think he's that crazy or he's just that insane, is publicly on like his social media shitting on his judge, saying that they're like some fucking like pedophile cabal, or they're part of like a pedophile cabal or some shit like that, or like the New World Order Illuminati bullshit. The judge has to reprimand him with findings in court. And be like, you can't say this shit. I don't care if you don't like me. You're going to be in contempt of court and be arrested your entire civil case. He almost got remanded to jail. If I remember correctly, they would have remanded him to jail for contempt. Like, think about that. The insanity. And like, okay. Imagine the court staff having to bring up their own their own evidence to say, hey, stop fucking doing this.
I'm not a religious person by any means, but I'd be on my knees praying right now if I was Tectone.
I mean, listen, it's all over anyways. Jesus Christ. Yeah, like, it's like, it was like imagine the court staff putting their own affidavit together and their own exhibits just to be like, hey, can you stop defaming the judge?
Of Tectone was that after being accused of abuse by his ex, he began to take on a personality of someone in the far right in order to circumvent the audience he lost because of his controversies. In other words, grifting. And you can definitely see this change in his content as well.
Some of my best friends are trans. Because they have not felt the same pain that certain content creators have felt in this community. I mean, there's been racism, sexism, racial slur towards Asian people, which is something that I do not tolerate whatsoever. I do not tolerate hate speech whatsoever. I do not tolerate anything derogatory towards any specific.
Come on, say the words,
Race, gender, anything whatsoever.
Slur.
I think I'm a pretty progressive guy. People are trying to kill white people. They absolutely are.
Oh my God.
I'm going to say something that a lot of people don't
slur tone.
Like when I say this, I believe that white lives matter. I do.
Tectone in court was complaining about the amount of hate he got online and trying to attribute it to Pink.
No slur tone. That sucks. You know what? If you're not going to commit to the bit, I don't know what to tell you.
So when Pink's lawyer brought up his sudden political change of heart, this is what Tectone had to say.
So if I can explain on that, when all of these things came out, I lost pretty much a large chunk of my audience, and content creators kind of have to pivot what they're doing to other topics once they lose access to a demographic. So originally, I never really covered anything political or talking about, white privilege. But yeah, I would say my content definitely had to find a new route on how to be successful online. And so unfortunately, I had to make a little bit more extreme comments to be successful in the career that I'm in now.
Tectone, politically speaking, is a total fraud. It's just...
This is definitionally grifting. Now, there is an argument, and I see the argument, in my opinion, of people saying the progressivism was a grift because that was on Twitch specifically, that was how you got big. Because it was a younger audience. The more progressive you were, the more sex positive you were, the better you did on Twitch at the time. I can see that. But whatever way you look at it, it's a fucking grift.
There's further evidence that he is portraying a character to benefit himself. It's abundantly clear from him calling himself a progressive in earlier streams.
To be honest, I think I'm a pretty progressive guy.
To him admitting in open court that he is grifting.
Some of my best friends are trans.
At one point in the trial, Pink retells a story of a time she went to a mutual friend and told her that Tectone was making her give him oral. Once Tectone found out, he freaked out and made her call that friend to find out what she knew and send text messages to Tectone for plausible deniability. I told her that he would make me give him oral actions, and she freaked out. And I'm like, but it's all fine, it's not a big deal. And I got scared because I didn't know if I could trust her. He then, the next day, sat me in the office and sat me in a chair, and he's like, I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to step inside and out. And he stepped outside of the office and said, you're going to tell me everything you told her in detail, and I want to know if you're lying. And we're going to have her on the phone, back and forth, and find out all the information. You're going to text me that you want to perform this oral action on me, or else I'm not going to trust you. Shortly after all of this is said in the courtroom, Pink's lawyer passes the witness, and they have absolutely nothing to say. They don't try to question her on this history of events whatsoever.
Oh my God! Insane!
Tectone takes the stand after, and the story is never commented on again. Shockingly, Tectone's team were the first to bring up the original DM from Pink, who immediately starts to recount a small portion of context in this incident. When she gives the full testimony of this incident later, there is no pushback from Tectone's lawyers.
So, oh, whoops. Hold up. I did not mean to mute it. I meant to do that. Is this what he instructed you to do? Yes, he told me I needed to suck his dick to show he could trust me because I tried to reach out to another girl and talk about what he had been doing. Yeah, totally fine, totally cool, totally great. Not a problem at all.
Tectone takes the stand. Ask yourselves, why wouldn't they push back on this? This is a huge claim by Pink.
This is an insane claim.
Especially when this text Tectone's team brought forward was really the only substantial evidence that they even used in court. They aren't going to push back on Pink with this? Tectone isn't even going to say that it isn't true? Why? When Pink's allegations of SA went public, a main defense Tectone employed multiple times on stream and X was that Pink was weaponizing SA against him because he had also been SA'd.
And to imply
Oh my god, his micro penis, he's afraid of vaginas. At a certain point, I can't feel bad when you victimize other people. And you're like, but I was raped first. Okay. Cool. Sucks. But then that doesn't give you a license to abuse other people.
why that I'm a rapist? After I myself have been raped twice? It's just a little bit crazy, isn't it?
Twice?
So it was interesting that on the stand, after being sworn in by his lawyer, the very first thing Tectone's team brought up was this incident, which was his sister trying to give him crabs.
Yes, I remember this. It was my female family member. My female family member was led to believe that she had this thing called crabs. She pulled on my blank. She pulled my pants down and mounted me and grinded on me to transfer it.
However, utilizing this when he is trying to persuade outside parties on his stream and X that he is innocent isn't very effective. Realistically, trauma tends to perpetuate trauma. There are entire academic and research studies done on this topic.
Yeah.
Where early life abuse was significantly associated with many disorders, but also what Tectone is being accused of. Not that I'm claiming in particular that this is a cycle, just that it's not a great defense for Tectone in the slightest. And if you were...
Yeah, it's just not, because then people can lean on that statistic, right? If you're gonna be, well, I was raped, I would never rape, I would never sexually assault. People then be like, yeah, but there is a probability of victims of childhood SA then becoming adult perpetrators or even child perpetrators themselves. You do open yourself up for that. Instead of being like, hey, I categorically never did this. It's really fucked up. Yeah, I have my own history, but I just would never do this regardless.
Access, Depresso Espresso.
I
tip
disavow
$1.
this.
Let's see Chulie's take on the Tectone SA court case and drama.
I disavow. Access, stop causing drama, you motherfucker.
Where a cynic in regards to Techie, you may even call it manipulative to use it as a defense how he has on the internet. It is shocking how bad Tectone is on the stand. He says, quote, "I'm not going to lie," 5 separate times throughout the trial.
It was pretty important to me because I am lazy. I'm not gonna lie. And I speed, I'm not gonna lie. You know, what if I get her pregnant? And also, you know, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not going to lie. I was, shortly after we broke up, interested in another girl. Pretty lazy guy in my life, I'm not gonna lie.
Tectone several times goes on insane long tangents where he throws in information not even being asked by his own lawyer. For instance, his lawyer simply asked, when you broke up the first time,
Yes.
There
was, I want to clarify, there was 3 times. Once I believe Pink has forgotten about. There was one where Pink wanted me to try to have sex, and I swore to her that I would try, and I did, and it just didn't work. I was too afraid of committing vaginal sex. It's not a thing to take lightly. I'm not a guy that sleeps around. It's, you know, what if I get her pregnant? And also, you know, I'm not going to...
Wait.
Each new story makes me one step closer to the ledge.
So, but I find that interesting because it's like, oh, what if I get her pregnant? Not, I'm afraid of vaginas. Like, he just adds like further context. It's weird. Like,
to lie, the unfortunate reality is that I did have a fear of Virginias. It's still hard for me to look at Virginias. I'm a straight man, but something about them just scares me. And so, you know, when I lost my virginity...
Imagine being scared of vaginas, I'm sorry.
At Vivian Amigan Viviana 3486 became a member.
Thank you, Vivian. Imagine just being afraid of, like, if you're, listen, if you're so afraid of vaginas, like legitimately, if you are so afraid of vaginas, maybe being gay, maybe that'll help. Be a chaser.
And I'm not gonna lie, but also, I'm not gonna lie.
I had to even close my eyes just to kind of go through the motions. Sorry. Am I rambling? What was the exact question?
So the first time that you broke up?
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, there was the one time where she didn't get...
John?
Yes?
Hold on.
Yes.
Imagine you're the judge. You are presiding over this protection order case, which includes multiple incidents of alleged assault. And then out of nowhere, not even prompted by the lawyer, the defendant goes off on a tirade about how he is terrified of laying pipe. Shortly after, a bizarre and unprompted rant about Tectone's fear of female anatomy. During a hearing for a protection order that includes SA, Tectone would again go off on a tangent in which he presents himself as a philanthropist. When did she move in?
Oh, really quick. She would frequently complain about her house, and I had already flown in my other buddy Lauro to stay with me for free because he was struggling. And, you know, I don't like being alone, so I let him move in with me for free. And then Pink said that her house kind of sucked, and she didn't really have anything to do about it because she couldn't just move out because she couldn't afford it. And I said, hey, anything you need to make your life better, I'll do it. If you need money, I got you. Because there was this funny time she was in her house, and she was very afraid because there was cockroaches. And so I came to my car, and I speed. I'm not going to lie.
I speed!
You know, I've sped pretty bad. I went like 80 and like a 65, and I got pulled over that night. And I told the officer, you know, what the guy says, why are you speeding? And I say, well...
There's just more stories, dog. Answer the question.
Officer, it was for a girl. This girl that I like, you know, she's got cockroaches. And he says, no problem, I get it, lets me off. Gives me like a warning, and then I go over there and I pick her up, and I bring her back to the house, and then I say, why don't you just move in?
Tectone, practically unprompted, goes off on a tirade that in my opinion just comes off as manipulative to the court. He sort of presents himself as a hero. He let his buddy move in because he was struggling, and oh, by the way, it was totally free. Pink couldn't afford anything, and her house had cockroaches. Tectone told Pink, I'll do anything to make your life better. Money, you got it. In fact, you can move in immediately. Later under cross, Pink's lawyer also clarifies with Tectone that there was only one cockroach, which he partially concedes to. And if that's true, it just fleshes out the picture for how manipulative he can be when presenting this stuff in open court, and trying to present Pink as destitute, basically. While things like this may work on his YouTube audience, in the middle of a civil court trial to go off on this long-winded rant only hurts him when his lawyer simply asked, when did she move in?
Exactly. And I remember when Cloudy and I were reading it, I was just like, you're not answering the question. Like, you're not being brief. You're not letting your lawyer do the investigation part of it that, like, your lawyer is supposed to question you. Listen, not saying that anyone should be quote unquote prepared, but your lawyer knows what what your game plan is. You're throwing the game plan away.
Freedom, I carry our marriage, and you know that.
A large portion of Pink's cross-examination by Tectone's lawyer was to single in on her previous lawsuit with Tectone's ex-wife, Freem, basically saying, well, you're calling him an abuser now, but you weren't when you were trying to sue his ex-wife, which is already a pretty sticky situation for Tectone, as in the lawsuit itself, it alludes to his ex-wife on the precipice of making abuse and SA allegations against him.
She was going to do something much worse, so bad it would have ruined all of our lives. I'm not going to say what it was that she was doing, but it was so horrific it would have ruined all of our lives.
The allegations Freem was going to make are alluded to in the lawsuit with Pink. They have also been talked about in the background for some time. The dispute between Freem and Tectone relates to his...
And that's the thing, right? Like, so it's what I believe happened is Freem had evidence that Tectone was cheating on her with probably Pink. And when he's like, oh, she has images of us having sex. And I'm like, why do all these people see it? I just think it's like maybe like some fucking like maybe indoor footage or outdoor footage of him sneaking her in. Like all this shit.
Serious and false allegation against Tectone. During that call, Tectone and Pink learned that Freem had a Google Doc, and she was planning to release it to the public. Tectone signed an NDA with his ex-wife directly after she was about to come out with rape allegations against him. This was one of my main points in my first video, and a thing I speculated over but was unable to get answers about. This is also fleshed out in the courtroom. Pink's lawyer asks, all right, and without going into details, that NDA relates to a lawsuit between he and his ex-wife post-divorce, right? I believe it was an agreement that they made. He told me that he had sent her a cease and desist, paid her $30,000, and had her sign an NDA to not go public. And this was right before you filed your lawsuit against her. Is that right? I believe after he had her sign the NDA and paid her, we had our spat and I sued her. Okay, and was that...
And what's crazy is, like, if he's encouraging her to go forward with the lawsuit, he knows all of this. He knows all of this. Like, the NDA doesn't necessarily protect that. Like an NDA doesn't protect if a crime was committed, but I'm really curious how the NDA would apply if if Pikachu successfully went after Freem. That's something I'm really, really curious about. I don't know how that would work.
At his encouragement to sue her, he encouraged a lot for me to sign an NDA and keep all of it under wraps due to the allegations the ex-wife had. He didn't want those to be public. Tectone later would be questioned about this lawsuit between his ex-wife and ex-girlfriend. Pink's lawyer states, and you also, at the time of the lawsuit, you wanted her to sign an NDA because you didn't want all of your ex-wife's allegations public. Isn't this correct?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Sure. We talked about the lawsuit, correct?
Of course.
And you tried to paint it that you were not involved in it.
Yeah, we all know that there's no footage of them having sex because Tectone doesn't have sex. So true.
In fact, wanted nothing to do with it, correct?
I tried my hardest to not be a part of it, but obviously when Pink was worried about it, I tried to assist her.
And in fact, what was the attorney's name that handled the case?
I'm actually not familiar.
Aaron? You don't remember Aaron?
No, I'm not familiar with Aaron.
You may be thinking, why is Pink's lawyer asking Tectone about who represented Pink against his ex-wife? Well, it's because Tectone, by his own statements, was the one who got Pink's lawyer to sue his ex-wife. In November of 2024, here is Tectone addressing Pink after her allegations went public.
How these things that have happened in your own mind you are now coming at me, and this isn't cute. So I am going to leave it at this. My lawyer is going to be contacting your lawyer, the same lawyer that I helped you get, because you were scared. I'm not fucking around with this shit.
My intentions were to kind of just assist Pink. I mean, obviously, I think if I can toss myself a bone in those situations, I'll do it. But I mean, it's mainly just about Pink, you know, being okay.
One of Tectone's claims was that he had all the receipts, and when all this came out, he would be totally vindicated.
Will you tweet out the proof? I will at a certain point. I really, truly hope that you guys believe everything that is that I said. If you didn't, I'll provide proof later.
So shockingly, during the trial, after
And he never did!
a year of claiming he had all the receipts, he in actuality had absolutely nothing.
The tweets that I pulled were kind of just like, last second, I could probably dig more, but I haven't dug. I maybe dug for like 15 minutes.
Insane. You have a court case going on in the background for years. 15 minutes of research. Why?
Wait a minute. This has been on file since August. You've known about this since at least your video on November 21st, 2024. And you're telling this court under oath that you only spent 15 minutes to dig up these just for court today?
Yes.
Do you remember getting online and telling all of your followers you had all the evidence back in November of 2024 and you were ready to produce it all?
Of course.
We also just get a straight-up admission from Tectone that he's just a liar in the court transcript. Tectone explains very plainly that he was let go from OTK over these allegations. However, that wasn't what Tectone claimed at all at the time this event happened.
Let me explain to you why I left OTK, why I resigned from OTK, why I did not renew my contract with OTK that expired on November 1st, 2024. The original contract was 2 years with an additional option to extend by an additional year, thusly completing my 3 years in OTK. And the reason why I chose to not renew with OTK is because it gave me a weakness. And I realized I really don't like having weaknesses.
Everyone was talking about it, which is why it forced me to respond, as well as the owners of my company decided to let me go as well because of the allegations.
Real weakness, buddy. Real weakness.
So people were ready to run with the ball of, look at that, another streamer from this org is a piece of shit.
And you were let go?
Instantly.
So Tectone, with his own testimony in court, is confirming he lied about why he left OTK originally. Tectone from the start of the trial tries to paint the picture of Pink Chu being a whore. Totally unprompted by his own lawyer, Tectone states,
If I can add further, when Pink came to my house, it was the most forward a woman has ever been with me in my entire life.
Tectone claims during his time on the stand that his and Pink's relationship was the most sexual one he had ever had.
Yes, I remember reading through that.
Which I just thought was bizarre considering they never had normal procreative sex. Pink's lawyer asked Tectone, have you ever also said online, after you were made aware of these allegations by my client, that you were one of the only streamers who has had a documented blow machine?
I am one of the only streamers that has had a documented blow machine. Right? Like, I don't know why people are thinking I'm sweating up divorce. Guys, I'm out here having the time of my life. It's not a large pair of tits. It's not a big old ass. It ain't a big old blow machine that'll suck your daily because they're horny all the time. New blow machine acquired. Anything wrong? They like to
insane.
Bring up that I'm divorced all the time. Do these people not realize that I've had 2 back-to-back girlfriends since getting that divorce, and one of them was a self-proclaimed blow machine? Do they think I'm sweating anything, man?
Yeah, because if I take it too serious, then everybody's going to think that it's real. And when you're in a self-defensive mode, you kind of got to say, you know, anything you can to save face, because when people are calling you a rapist every day, I mean, you got to let it roll off the shoulder or make it a joke.
And so the best way to defend yourself is to make the other person basically a whore, correct?
I don't believe that's the best way to do that.
Well, that's what you've done. I mean, the first thing you said when you testified today was that she was the most forward woman that you have ever had in your life on day one.
I don't think calling someone forward is calling them a whore.
Insane!
Really, when you talked about it, you said you like long tongues, and she exposed her tongue. You thought that was appropriate behavior?
It was probably inappropriate. That's probably what made it attractive, maybe, though. I'm just not used to it.
Do you not see that you were painting her in a particular light when you talk about these things in open court?
I can only give you an accurate representation of the truth. If it makes someone appear a certain way, that's not really against, or not really my intention.
One of the most important factors when a judge is making a judgment in these types of trials is the credibility of testimony. A judge weighs demeanor, specificity, and plausibility.
Yes!
So imagine
Yes!
you're a judge residing over this case for a protection order that entails alleged essay. The first thing the defendant does is say unprompted, she wanted to f immediately. And then directly after, go on another unprompted rant about how terrified of he is.
I heard that shit and I was like, damn, did the schizophrenia get me?
One of the reasons his protection order is so long is because for years now, Tectone has been telling his audience in great detail and everyone around him that he is a schizophrenic.
It's called having schizophrenia. I'm f***ing schizophrenic. Wait, am I allowed to get offended when people call people schizos because I have schizophrenia? As a guy who actually is schizophrenic, as a guy who does have mental illnesses, I'm schizophrenic. I'm really bad with horror games, so if I have to quit, you guys need to understand why that is. For example, I'm schizophrenic. Normal human beings aren't supposed to see things that aren't there. I have lived a life where I've always felt like there were people trying to kill me. I am also schizophrenic. Sometimes I can't tell if I'm a schizophrenic or if I'm a shaman.
Surprisingly, when asked what he takes for this unfortunate affliction, Tectone simply responds with,
I just take multivitamins and fish oil, so nothing.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I don't want to get a sleeve like that, but then I realize I'm schizophrenic and it might freak me out. Might make me think there's bugs in my skin.
When Pink's lawyer asks him why he isn't being treated for this very serious illness, Tectone responds in only a way he can.
I guess it's kind of goofy. There's this movie called The Beautiful Mind.
Oh no! The Beautiful Mind poster! Oh, 10 out of 10. Shamu, 10 out of 10, buddy.
And so I was like, man,
Remember, chat, like, subscribe, donate today, but always make sure that, listen, videos in the description. I give the views, the follows, the time watched, and the likes over to that. Holy fuck, Shamu, 10 out of 10.
It's messed up, and mine is nothing compared to that. So, you know, I hear people who talk to people who aren't there, but I'm just like, what's that? Oh, it's gone. That, you know, I've talked to spirits due to my mental illness, but here's the thing, guys, and here's the question I've always asked myself: am I schizophrenic? Or am I a shaman? And obviously I'm schizophrenic. So, I mean, her face starts like mutating. Brother, the sheer damage I would have inflicted on humankind if I listened to the voices would be insane. You should peel off your skin, Techie. You should peel off your skin. Well, if that's what you think, that's what's the truth.
Though there were trials and tribulations for Tectone throughout losing his civil case, just 9 days after the trial, he would receive a miracle that cured his mind of a decades-long battle with schizophrenia.
Exactly!
I have an announcement. I went to a psychiatrist yesterday, and I'll try to provide some documentation of this at a later date whenever I receive it. Guys, I'm not schizophrenic.
Oh my god! I'm no longer! I am cured!
Diagnosed with schizophrenia. Voices, these lies to her head must leave her in Jesus' name.
Guys, I'm not
Oh my god!
schizophrenic. The psychiatrist believes the reason why I see things that aren't there, mainly, well, at night, is due to the fact that I got stabbed in my left eye, and my right eye is normal.
Yeah.
Delusion Tone is straight off his meds.
You know, he never had him begin with, bosses, but thank you for the 2.
And so they believe that my eyeballs are causing me to temporarily hallucinate things that aren't there because they're not signaling my brain properly.
Okay.
But that wouldn't affect you saying that you hear the things.
Okay, that's great and all, but why do you talk about hearing voices all the time then?
I've talked to spirits due to my mental illness. Schizophrenic.
Yeah.
I get really bad thoughts in my head. So I was going there.
Like, you've talked about hearing voices. Voices!
Unironically, and I'm trying not to get emotional, I thought there actually might be something wrong with me. And so I was going to actually try to get medicated. They said I do not require medication. I guess I am just a human with anxiety, unresolved childhood trauma, and eyes that don't communicate too well to my brain.
Now, I personally have no idea where Tectone's lies or truth begins with any of this, to be honest, because the web is so massive, at a certain point, it's just a mad scramble. But here's what we know. Tectone has stated that he plans to appeal the court's decision of the protection order.
Tectone's going through some stuff right now. He let me know he's going to be appealing.
Aw, it's Templar!
Decision. You know, we've seen the courts do things that are not good.
And what is the first thing Tectone can do to help with his appeal? Not be a self-admitted, dangerous schizophrenic with a gun.
Once again, guys, I'm schizophrenic and I have a gun. I'm a very dangerous man.
Everyone has known the person growing up that lies about this or that mental illness that they are afflicted with. I can't say one way or the other if that's what Tectone has been doing, but I can say his sudden cure of schizophrenia only helps him with his appeal. If only Tectone would have listened to the masters, his elders.
Remember my dad told me I wasn't schizophrenic? I just played too many damn video games. Shut the f*** up, old man.
Oh, boy. Now, one of the weird things is that Tectone himself has not said that he's going to appeal. I find it interesting that people around him are saying that he's going to appeal. I wouldn't be surprised if Tectone appealed, nor would I be surprised or unsurprised if the protective order got lowered a little bit. Again, it's just, this is such a bizarre thing.
Love the camaraderie.
Stop military. I sent my ops to the courtroom.
Oh, look who it is. It's Mizkif. It's Mizkif. Now, I know there's been some Mizkif Emmy news where Emmy's like slightly walked back her takes about Miz sexually assaulting her, saying that like she felt like it was assault. Again, Miz did confirm that he hugged her and she like jumped and screamed. I never, like, I had to remember the coverage. I don't think I ever said that he sexually assaulted her. I said that this was like, why would you ever think that was okay to do when you two are broken up? Again, I do, like, there's an obvious reality that Mizkif went after Tectone to try to build up goodwill for his own shit going on in the background. We all know this. No one has ever said that that wasn't the thing.
Tectone and Pink Shoe. And I have written down notes for a 7-hour trial. I have 7 hours of notes on Tectone and what he did to Pink Shoe. Nice job, Tectone. You disgusting.
In a true all-time generational hater moment online, Mizkif, an ex-member of OTK, sent people to the courtroom in Travis County, Texas, for the entirety of Tectone's trial with Pikachu. They even took video of Tectone leaving the courtroom.
Ready for this? There he is, leaving the courtroom today. The walk of shame as he lost a court case to Pink Shoe. He lost. For 10 years, he can't own a firearm, weapon, or gun, and he has to stay away from Pink Shoe. And has to pay all of her attorney fees, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Besides having agents in the courtroom, Mizkif posted never-before-seen transactions and texts of Tectone securing Viewbots for his various channels.
This is the bots that were bought. This is Tectone.
That is actually insane. So this kind of flew under the radar. Tectone has been buying bots for his channel to keep it relevant and alive. That's absolutely insane. And it like supports the theory that a lot of these guys at the top just bought their channels. I don't see, like, I don't fucking get it. The botting I've never understood, because like you still have the consistent donos, and it's like that core of dono. Maybe I'm just weird and I don't see the need for botting ever. I don't know, man. It's so fucking bizarre.
Account 2004, July 26, quantity 1,000, quantity 750. This is John Tectone messaging the person that was buying him the bot saying, "Sad face, can you try that again? I'm stupid and dumb. You just make an account, pay to the top right, and add it to your account. If you need help, let me know. It's good for you to do it anyway since I won't be around. Let me know if you need me to walk through it and I'll help you," which then they tried to help him with secure paying, okay? Did you get my bots? So Tectone definitely needing her to buy the bots. I could only do 750, but I sent you the link to everything. Sad face, can you try again? I'm stupid and dumb. There's Tectone's picture on August 24th, paying $1,000 claiming it's the house when it really was for bots. Why would Tectone pay $1,000 for a house that he owns?
If you're skeptical for whatever insane reason, Tectone on his first stream back admitted to the botting allegations.
Hey, bro, there was motherfuckers going live on stream saying, "Yeah, Viewbot, hold up, I gotta send an extra 2,000. Have I dabbled in it? You're goddamn right. I absolutely tried it. Hey, it is what it is. I don't do that shit more, but it is what it is."
So you did it when you wanted your career to pop off, and botting can get your channel banned. Like, I think that's what's crazy to me. People are now just fucking admitting to it because they're like, well, I got away with it. And it's like, what the fuck?
The most common thing I heard from people I spoke with about Tectone was that he was a massive viewbotter. Tectone has made a lot of money streaming and a lot of money from sponsors. Once Tectone leaked a $35,000 payment he received on stream.
And so that's the thing. A lot of people will say those, the botting is like how you like gradually get sponsors. Listen, I'd love a sponsor for the channel. I've tried, I've applied. Gamer Subs, sponsor me. But again, like, I'll wait. I can wait my turn.
Is that video? He's killing it, man.
I did that.
What is that? I just got nobody.
So the thing is, if you're viewbotting and you're getting tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars from companies to show their product to viewers that aren't real, well, that's fraud.
Is viewbotting bad? It really depends on how you think about it. It's kind of like lying to sponsors as well. Do I want to feel bad that multi-million-dollar corporations are losing money? I don't really care about companies losing money, man. I don't care. Hey, man.
I honestly am not sure.
Just insane language. Just insane. Fucking just the most insane language I've ever seen in my life.
If everyone can just viewbot and then steal from sponsors. I'm a tiny channel, obviously, so I have no clue how prevalent this is, but it is interesting Tectone openly admits to defrauding them.
And guys, I'm going to keep this vague. For a reason, okay? So if you're confused, you're going to stay confused.
There are multiple incidents of SA spoken about in the trial's transcript. I personally don't want to get into details of all of them. However, I want to look at one incident in particular because I believe the records and witness testimony surrounding it absolutely sank Tectone and made me personally truly believe that Tectone is guilty of what he has been accused of. In late May, Pikachu had just recently been to a plastic surgeon to get lip filler done. That night, Pink alleges Tectone asked her to perform an oral action on him. She told Tectone that her lips were hurt because she had just gotten this procedure done and told him she didn't want to. He then allegedly pushed her down and didn't let go until she performed this action. Yeah. It was so forceful that her lips were in significant pain afterwards, and the filler she had just had done migrated around her face. It was so bad that she required medical treatment after the fact, which is clearly stated on some of the court's paperwork. Maybe you were a skeptic and want to say she made this up. Well, don't take my word for it. Take Tectone's.
You know what you can't do to women who have lip filler?
Uh-oh.
You can't their mouth. Because it'll rupture the fucking lip filler. So you can't even go hard. And you know they're not making their own money, so then you got to pay for another lip filler. How do you know? Man, I wonder.
Crazy how you just openly admitted it.
Jesus, bro. Like, bro, I'm telling you, like, these fucking bimbos on the internet, they are not worth a fucking damn. By the way, fellas, just letting you know, lip filler might look good. It's terrible because when a woman has lip filler in it, they can't suck your dick as hard. Otherwise, it might fuck up the filler. You know, it's very delicate. Like with the lip injections, you can't throw them as hard as you want to because then it'll fuck up their filler. So it's like they'll look really hot, but you can only go like 10% power on them. You have to be careful. Okay, so the reason why it sucks, women who look like that is because I'm like a very like hard fucker. You know what I mean? Like
of the mouth. You can't fuck vaginas because you're scared. You're just scared. I'm going to poorly ape Diero's argument against bots that it lowers the value of the click, which means advertisers will leverage. Yeah. Bots only hurt the economy, the creator economy, because it does lower the value that you'll get from ad rev and lower the value that you'll generate from those ad rates.
Go very hard, like very hard, very fast. Like it's fine to like start off slow, but then it becomes like a battle, right? Of who can fuck each other the hardest. right?
As you can see, Tectone quite clearly and disturbingly, with all of the context, is quite often reflected on this event with Pink, where after he allegedly forced.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read all of these. We read these before, but again, she's recounting the time where she literally just had the procedure done, and he forces her, even though she's telling her, even though she's telling him that she's in pain, like in a massive amount of pain.
Sure, to perform an oral action, she had to go to the hospital. You know, as a partner, if a procedure has been done, it's on you to be caring and consoling, not to take advantage of them when they are in pain after an operation like this. I just think if your lips are hurting from a surgery and your doctor has told you not to perform any sexual actions, what is most likely to have happened here? I mean, you heard Tectone himself talk about how forceful he was and just how bizarre that is when your partner has just gotten a medical procedure done. Now, after going over how Tectone performed in court and how he brought really nothing new to the table, you can see why the judge found reasonable grounds to believe that an assault happened here. This incident with the lip filler would also be brought up during cross-examination. Pink's lawyer asks, okay, isn't it true that you have posted on social media that it's hot when girls have their lips done with filler for jobs?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and in fact, you said on social media that you can't go too hard on them when they first get their lip fillers done because it causes problems with the filler, correct?
I'm not familiar with that comment, but perhaps I wouldn't say that I didn't say that.
Okay, and in fact, your exact statements on February 5th of 2025, so after these allegations were made, is
these are so hot, but in practicality, they are the worst thing to ever exist. So lip fillers, they do make your lips look horrible as shit. But the problem
fucking sane.
Is anybody who has lip fillers cannot suck worth a damn. It sucks. It sucks. Because if they suck too hard, it'll f up their lip fillers. So unless they're able to deep throat your and just let you throat them with their mouth open, it's just not worth it. It's really not.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I became very familiar with the flaws with lip filler.
Henry Resilient, who did a great job running through the outline of the court documents, also made a great point in regards to why Tectone lost in court possibly. Presumably the Dr. Pink met with after the lip filler incident testified over Zoom.
February 23rd, Pink requested that a doctor testify via Zoom on her behalf. Not Tectone, who saw the court docs. So this guy, who was one of the leading plastic surgeons, joined the trial to say, hey, whatever they witnessed, whatever it was, it must have been compelling enough, whatever she said was compelling enough for the protection order to be granted.
This is also backed up in the transcript.
Yeah, and like that's and I had said this in my own coverage too, like because like think before you sleep, try like, oh, well, civil cases, yada yada yada, civil case this, civil case that. It's like, yes, civil cases are much more of like a 51%, 49% thing, and a vibes check, sure, but like there's so much more involved, and the judge still has to act like a judge. Like, you gotta think about it. The judge still needs to act like a fucking judge. And that was always my thing. It's like, oh, so YouTubers are going to, especially non-law tubers, YouTubers are going to say, I know more than a fucking judge. Insane.
When the judge talks about generating a Zoom link for a witness, they refer to the witness as a custodian of records, which is someone in court that goes on record for the authenticity of the records presented in court. So Pink's doctor authenticated the records of her injury to the court, which could have also detailed the reason the injury was sustained in the first place. And so if you're the judge and you're trying to determine what likely happened here, and you have someone claiming SA, they have medical documentation and doctor testimony that they were injured during this act, and a man being accused is talking about how forceful he is in regards to doing this thing to someone recovering from a medical procedure, well, what the f are you going to think? It really is no wonder at all that Tectone lost when you look at what both parties were bringing to the courtroom. However, even with the protection order served, this still wouldn't stop Tectone from communicating with third parties to mount defense for himself against his ex-girlfriend, which legally speaking seems like a terrible mistake.
You can get
I love this because it's so like this part is what's interesting is how Tectone, if it is to be believed, has circumvented part of his. Oh God, it just started fucking pouring here. How Tectone has potentially circumvented his protection order, depending on how a judge looks at it, by talking to his friends and his friends running the stories. Like I've said this, and I'm like, it started to me, it's just become more apparent since the Dreamer leaks have happened. It feels like a lot of Vincent Martin's like anti-ish Lio videos, not all of them, but you know, some of them that feature Jar screenshots is just Jar puppeting Vincent's channel and testing the waters of the reaction to Vincent's own comments. It doesn't feel like an original thought. Now, I'm sure Vincent Martin has original thoughts. They're just fleeting. Holy shit, it's pouring. Bro, it is smacking on my door. Holy fuck. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if all of your screenshots and all of your information is being fed from the guy that now hates the guy, and you're not necessarily doing all the cross-reference or not doing critical thinking. Again, I know Vincent Martin recently put like a video defending or trying to explain Enno's interactions with or Just a Robot's interactions with like Enno, which I like everyone has openly said that's such a fucking stupid thing to do. Yeah, it's insane. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's wild out there.
Anywhere with some cash though, Viking Gnome, dude, 100% true. The Filipino lady was in Manila.
Right.
And
You're an expert. You're an expert.
Go east, gentlemen.
Legal Mindset, or Andrew, is a passport bro and YouTube lawyer who lives in Asia. Legal Mindset laid a foundation for defending Tectone publicly, and Tectone, in my opinion, was also communicating with and sending him things such as the transcript itself.
How'd you get the transcripts? Legal Mindset magic, right? Things just appear in Legal Mindset's inbox.
And a confidential polygraph test Tectone took.
I've also got confidential polygraph results that I
You've seen the thing inadmissible in court?
obtained that are very telling.
Before Legal Mindset even had the transcripts, he knew aspects of the case, like how Tectone would use a whiteboard when he had a disagreement with Pink.
And also, here's another thing too, and I think this does come up, is the way that people communicate with each other. So sometimes the way they communicate, it doesn't.
And this is 2 days prior to Legal Mindset releasing the transcripts. Insane. Yeah, 100% they're talking to each other.
Normal. Maybe they communicate primarily by text or whatever. Maybe it's an IRL. Maybe they do other stuff. I think with Tectone, there might have been a whiteboard involved at some point where they're explaining stuff. Maybe that's just how they learn, right? Maybe that's just how they intake information. That doesn't necessarily make it derogatory or negative. Or
Andrew at first tries to find a way to talk around the fact that Tectone is incapable of laying pipe by calling it a kink.
Did his penis ever touch your vagina? Never. So there was no penis or vagina that happened at all, right? It's a kink, right? Once again, kinks are kinks, right?
Yet Tectone calls it trauma. It's not a kink if Tectone calls it trauma.
Was it sexual? Yes. Okay. It was the most sexual relationship I've had. Well, if it was only jobs, then I will just say that that's like maybe he just has.
Hey, Tusky.
I heard the rain when it was here. Wild shit. Enjoy.
It's like fucking blasting.
A lot of relationships like. Anyways, I don't want to read too much into it. But yeah. Okay.
Then later he claims this entire protection order with alleged SA is simply because Tectone wouldn't lay pipe, which is bizarre.
Mr. Robertson, did you ever engage in intercourse with? Her first question is about intercourse. So all of this is because she didn't get, and I'm going to use a technical term. This is an industry technical term that I've heard from industry professionals, like my friend Sterling Cooper, who used to work in the adult industry. I think the technical term is dicked down. I think that's the professional term. I think that's the legal term. So because she did not get dicked down, it appears that is what this is about. And the fact that the lawyer led with that shows that that's the impression she wants to give. This is the first question. I'm gonna highlight you guys. The first question she asks.
When in the transcript, Andrew is confronted with the clip of Tectone confirming the lip filler incident when Pink had to go to the hospital. Instead of explaining to his audience why this is disastrous for Tectone in his case, he just glosses over it and calls it a mistake.
So after these allegations made as lip fillers, they do make your lips look full of shit. But the problem is anybody's had lip fillers not suck it worth a damn. It sucks because if they suck it too hard, it'll fill up. After lip fillers, is that correct? So he said that. By the way, okay, Tectone, this is pretty stupid, but saying lips look full is not a sin. But you should just like not criticize people's fucking ability. So I don't know. Anyways,
like, why can't you just say, like, it's really weird how, like, this coincides with her exact story.
It was really windy yesterday and now it's snowing here.
Yeah, that's just, like, the craziest shit.
This was not the
Thank you, Toa.
But whatever, let's continue.
Again, Tectone here is confirming the injury that Pink sustained during the act. Legal Mindset basically paints Pink as mentally ill and runs all the stops trying to paint this as a Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation.
Apparently she's got, according to her own.
So let's talk about that. I don't know if Tectone will go. I don't know if Tectone. I don't know if Shamu will go into it a little bit. But when we looked at Legal Mindset through I think it was Rob's Media's video, if I remember correctly, and we also just looked at his channel on our own because I looked at his channel. It's very clear he got popular. One of his bumps in popularity was the Amber Heard trial, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and then he had a little bit of a lull, and then he bumped back up with the VTuber stuff. It's very obvious that he is doing this to signal a part of his audience. Now, I do that too with the jar stuff, but these are like court cases, very different standards. And again, like I've always come out on the side of like and I guess like I would disagree with Beckett on this because Beckett I think Beckett is like I wouldn't say pro Amber Heard. He just looks at everything and disagrees with people's assessments. I've come away being like, hey, this was a case of people who potentially were mutually abusive to one another. And even if you can make arguments that it was reactive abuse, and I would understand that. But inherently the problem is that things that she should have followed up with, she just never did. And like, it's just like, it's very scummy.
Issues she's dealing with, some trauma, maybe some mental health stuff.
Again, that's not this isn't the same precedence though. There's so much going on in this case that is not like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case.
Yeah, I mean that'll do it right there. But when Pig was worried about something, it consumes her. Sounds like she has really bad depression too. And the important thing here is we are in a post-Depp world. There's a lot of Me Too cases that end up absolutely destroying men based on the laws in the West. But Depp versus Heard is when I blew up. So I'm treating this like Depp versus Heard. But in a post-Depp world, we cannot take Me Too at its face.
Andrew talks out of both sides of his mouth, claiming that he is the only objective person who can cover this, while also making it clear he is doing this as a third party because Tectone is unable to.
I'm going to be the only person to cover this kind of objectively and that can cover it. That's the point here, is that Tectone cannot say these things, right? And cannot actually move against her publicly, right? So he can't defend himself. So a lot of people out there are saying, Tectone, defend yourself. He can't. He can't do anything. He can't say anything, right? That's a big factor here as part of my analysis, that Tectone can't fight back. So this is why I want that he will not cover this. So this is why you need an objective person covering it, and he will not be covering this. He cannot talk about this, guys. This is the point. The point is Tectone cannot defend himself. And to be honest with you guys, once again,
now even if I make the argument, right, that Lolling Mindset is doing this because he, as a lawyer, believes in fairness and justice under the eyes of the law, right? Even if that's the case, the problem is he's also personally connected to Tectone. Remember, Tectone got him in with Mythic. So, like, this is the issue, is that it's incredibly personal to him.
If I'm going to disclose my bias, and I do have a bias here, I like Tectone. And I'm not going to pretend that I don't like Tectone and I don't like the content he covers. And
I have a Thin Mints chat. I've said this on stream. Thin Mints in the freezer are superior because it puts the mint less. You know, this is actually a funny story. I had a conversation with somebody that they're like, I don't like Thin Mints because they make me think I'm eating something healthy. And I was like, what? Like, oh yeah, the mint makes me think I'm eating something healthy. I'm like, no. Like when I'm a fucking what the fuck are the not a Cuba Libre. Oh my god, what's the drink with mint? This is actually gonna kill me. A mojito. When I have a mojito, I don't think it's healthy. Oh, fuck, I haven't had a mojito in a while. I don't really drink that much anymore, chat. I really only do it when Cloudy's here because it's like I don't really drink alone. Oh, I like a mint julep, yeah.
That some of my bias is towards his defense. Listen, the language of this protective order says he cannot do anything to harass or annoy her. So even releasing documents can be seen as harassing or annoying. So Tectone cannot release this document, right? Now, Legal Mindset is not Tectone. So I can do what I want to do.
The other aspect to this is that Legal Mindset refused to redact any information such as names and addresses, which doxed Pink. The after events of the protection order ruling was a total shit show. Every document that was supposed to be private detailing Pink's essay and home address were leaked originally in Tectone's Discord. The person that posted it found a workaround in the coding of the government site.
Well, that's interesting too. Huh. Tectone's Discord leaks it. Legal Mindset has immediate access to it.
Allowed you to access the files. I actually emailed Travis County because I was wondering if this is what happened, and it turns out that it was. And hours from me emailing the county, the file's accessibility was shut down. Pink actually had to move because of all this, and she actually responded to Legal Mindset on Twitter, claiming this is the, quote, lawyer, Legal Mindset, who posted unredacted leaked documents that were meant to be sealed live to thousands of people to dox me, putting my family in danger. Then pictured is a tweet of Andrew hitting on Pink, which is sort of the more white trash aspect of this, I would say. You know, Legal Mindset is trying to sweep it up and give an incredibly biased reading of a case where Tectone is accused of SA, and then going on Twitter and hitting on the alleged victim, and he's actually done it more than once. When I pointed out to Legal Mindset it wasn't the transcript, but the court files that had leaked due to a bug Pink was upset about, he both blocked me and hid my reply. Anyways, beyond being a dishonest degenerate...
Get fucked, you fucking freak! I love it. I love when they... The best part, the best part is when they block us. When we, like, point out how fucking stupid they are. Oh, it's so good. Oh, by the way, we will most likely do a Faithful Sheriff stream soon, either tomorrow or Wednesday. I haven't decided yet. Like, I really want to do a Faithful Sheriff stream. The shit is really funny.
I did feel there was an oddly poetic moment during his coverage. While trying to obviously work with Tectone to fight against his ex-girlfriend who now had a 10-year protection order, Legal Mindset very suddenly breaks down into tears.
Yes!
I cry here, you know, because it's hard to do this. It's hard to do this. Hey, appreciate you guys. I gotta lock in. I love you guys. So look at me. People are gonna make fun of me, be like, look, Legal Mindset crying on stream. I don't give a shit.
So pretty simply what you have is Tectone, who just got a protection order by the courts, working with and sending things to YouTube lawyers to then release that information and fight back against her in the public square. Tectone and Legal Mindset didn't always get along. In fact, Tectone quite disliked Legal Mindset, who used to refer to Tectone as a 39 IQ buffoon.
People like Tectone have lost reality with like the real world and how things have to be in a contract. Like, I mean, Caveman Smash Guy over there. 39 IQs in the chat for Tectone. So now Tectone, I guess, is gonna say something dumb. Wow. these people are just dumb. Like, are they not thinking about
2024, interesting.
the reality of how these things work? So I don't want to keep you guys way too long. I think we've seen enough losing brain cells, 39 IQ takes the night. But yeah, this is pretty bad.
I really don't give a about this legal mindset guy. I really don't. Like, I mean, I could pretend that I do, but I really just fucking don't, man.
And
I will admit, I think legal mindset's a very dangerous creator because a lot of people take what he says far too seriously, and he's really missed the mark when he was talking about me. And I think that's very dangerous. People hold your word.
Very interesting. I never knew that. God, I like Shimu.
To such high degree, and then you go farm and you just get some PR dunk points. I think that's very dangerous.
And obviously, we got the VTuber Cinder. So if you don't,
but I have just such a bitter taste in my mouth ever since he attempted to me over some bullshit. Yeah, I kind of just take everything he says with a grain of salt.
Once Tectone's legal issues began closing in, he did a total 180 and began glazing legal mindset to such a degree it would make Thai lady boys blush.
I highly recommend everybody watching this video.
And began glazing legal mindset to such a degree it would make Thai lady boys.
What an insane edit. What an insane edit.
Blush.
I highly recommend everybody watching this video right now go subscribe to Legal Mindset and support the original channel as well. I just like getting informed on everything, and obviously pretty soon I'm going to be getting very involved with the law, and I want to make sure that I am ready to dissect my enemies.
Not only was he glazing, but leading up to his legal issues, he was also speaking with Mindset frequently.
Which, by the way, I've been talking to Legal Mindset quite a lot. He's a very nice guy. Believe, and I'll have to ask Legal Mindset, aka the sexiest man on Twitch. God, bro, look at him.
he's gonna do. He's gonna make. He keeps hitting on me, right? It's a little bit uncomfortable, right?
Just a few weeks later, Pink filed her protection order against Tectone on August 21st. Here's Tectone 4 days later.
Legal Mindset is one of the greatest gifts to content creation in the past 3 years. One of the best channels on the entire platform, and I stand by that. Side note to you, Legal Mindset, you have now broken into my 5 favorite content creators to watch. I was even watching your YouTube live stream this morning. Amazing streamer, amazing content creator, a brilliant mind of the legal space. I love this shit.
Just 1 month after Pink got her protection order, Tectone got Legal Mindset signed to Mythic Talent.
So of course I enjoy.
Someone was getting unsolicited legal advice. Or maybe solicited legal advice.
Joined the talent agency Mythic, and this was put on September 27th, so that's 3 days ago, which was really awesome. Big thanks to Tectone for helping me.
Really looks like that. I don't know.
Out. He actually got me in contact and let me get in contact with the leadership, the CEO, the COO. It was really awesome to meet them and to talk about them.
And one of the things I'm not even sure was very well known was that Tectone was a creator behind Mythic Talent.
And then Mythic Talent was an organization that I created.
Yeah, so that was really interesting. I don't think a lot of people knew that. Technically, Tectone was behind the creation of Mythic. That is something I don't think a lot of people knew. That was kind of crazy.
With some peers from another company called AFK, where they were actually, not being too kind to their employees. And so I took some of their employees and made our own ad company to bring money to creators. You can send this to whoever the fuck wants to hear it. So I keep on being told, and this is real, by the way. I've seen this comment so much. I keep on being told that Legal Mindset is like incredibly biased and in my favor and will defend me to the brink of death because I got him into Mythic Talent.
Me personally, it just seems like Tectone courted Legal Mindset leading up to his legal troubles, and once the protection order was served, used his connections in the industry to prop him up and scratch his back, which would inevitably lead to Mindset's absurd defense of Tectone once the trial results came in. And getting Legal Mindset on his side and hired a Mythic Talent may have in fact been a strategy.
I'm glad we have people like Sensitive Society and WestJet.
Other content creators who have collaborated and been on Tectone's podcast also covered the story, such as WestJet and Sensitive Society.
I'm not going to sit here and lie.
Now we covered Sensitive Society. Now deleted video, by the way. What a fucking pussy to delete that video. I wonder why you deleted it.
You guys to conceal my bias. I want Tectone to be innocent. I like the guy. I don't want him to be a but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and carry water for Tectone and a girl with information I don't have, calling her a liar and stuff like that.
Because I'm friends with Tectone, I guess it's time the elephant in the room gets addressed. You guys know me. I like to keep it 100 with everyone. And of course, it's no secret that I like Tectone. I've talked to him. He's been nothing but kind to me. A few months ago, he invited me onto his podcast.
So they state their biases in the video. However, for large portions of both of their videos, simply had Legal Mindset giving the most absurd takes on the case.
They're almost trying to paint him in a way, if you know what I mean.
Never actually engaged in traditional intercourse. It was only he received blowjobs.
Yeah, and it's really interesting that it's like, oh, we all refer to Legal Mindset's evaluation.
Never any reciprocation. So they're literally making a case that because he didn't have sex with her, this is abuse, right? So I just want to make it clear here that there's an argument here that really the problem is they didn't
Now, thankfully, YouTube lawyer made a video about this a day ago, explaining everything.
He approached this very innocently after he was betrayed in a relationship, which Freem cheated on him. In fact, all the communications I reviewed show Tectone as a reasonable, kind guy. Don't say. He says, I will never understand how much this must hurt you, but proud you're fighting through it. And this is not the language I would see of an abusive partner, or someone's hurting, or someone's out there to get somebody, but somebody really genuinely.
Yeah, this random post from 2023. Did you go through all of Freem's tweets? I wonder where you got this from. Sensitive Society is a spineless guy. So I don't know Sensitive Society, right? I don't know him. I will say when I talked to people about sends, so I asked around. I didn't get glowing reviews. I'll say that for real.
He wants to help. And it seems like this may be a case of what you call buyer's remorse in dating, where you go back and you say, okay, well, now that I'm out of this, this is a situation where it was buyer's remorse. I regret things I did, or I regret stuff I did, even though it was consensual at the time. And unfortunately, as I got to report to you guys, the U.S. legal system weaponizes this. It allows people to go back, regret things, and then go get protective orders, go make claims in the future when all of this should be dealt with privately.
My problem with both of these videos is that if you're going to talk about this case, then people should actually know some of the damning things within it. Because you aren't talking about how Pink, while recovering from an operation, was injured, that there is medical documentation to back it up, and that Tectone himself has openly stated this event happened, and you just have Legal Mindset on screen talking about how the problem actually is that Pink wasn't getting then that's sweeping. I think it largely helps Tectone from people that have collaborated with them. It also seems like at least WestJet.
I would 100% agree with this assessment. I came to see Sense of Society getting put on blast in a big video. Happy days. He's a troll shielding loser. Yeah. So listen, I'm not going to reveal who I've spoken with, but I've spoken to people and they've just been like, yeah, he just exists. He's a creator, not a good one, but he is one. And that's just it.
Had some idea that Tectone was just working with Legal Mindset.
I genuinely don't know how effective polygraphs are, but it is interesting how Legal Mindset even got this confidential file in the first place.
Sensitive Society would actually issue an apology for his video.
His opinion, the only people that I care about is my audience, and
wait, he fucking apologized? No fucking shot. No fucking shot this guy apologized. Wait, he did? Sensitive. There's no way he apologized. Wait. Oh, you know what? I know there's a lot of shit that's been going on with Anissa. Maybe one day I'll cover that shit. Wait, when did he do that? Did he do it like another video we just don't know about? When did he do this? Oh, this stuff. I heard a little bit about this. I asked around about this. Listen, everyone's right to be upset by all parties, in my opinion. Even odd ones out, I think, is a right to be a little bit upset. This sucks. I don't like what happened here, but from what I've been told from behind the scenes, this shit just sucks. When did he fucking issue an apology? I don't even know what video.
If you feel let down by my video on Tectone, I do apologize for that. It 1000% falls on me. I think I should have done a better job covering the situation. Maybe not be as biased.
And shortly after would take down both his apology and the original Tectone protect.
Oh my god! What a spineless coward pussy! This guy is a fucking... Forget what I said. Fuck this guy. This guy's a fucking pussy! Yo! What a spineless coward! Now I know why him and fucking Tectone hang out so much. They both got micro penises. What a fucking spineless bitch. Stand on business. This is some Mudahar level backpedaling. Holy fuck me.
Shorter video he made.
They call him a generational rapist. Yes. When you have people that are spreading, at least from his perspective, the court case is not finished. And so I do know more about it than the public. And also I remain to be Tectone's friend and I support Tectone. You can take that for what you will. So as
Backshots.
Sheriff Woody ass laugh.
Backshots. I'm gonna put you in jail like I do Slug until you tip $100 or 50. No, I'm not gonna do that. Unless you tip $100, I'm skipping everyone you don't know just for that.
somebody who knows more about this than the public, I think that when he comes back, all of this is going to make a lot more sense. I'll certainly say that. So don't worry about it, guys. Tectone will be back. It's not going to be a big deal. Everything's totally fine.
Asmongold supported Tectone and frequently alluded to Tectone's innocence and knowing things the public didn't. However, once Tectone lost his case, this was his reaction.
Streaming is just, it's so toxic, man. Tectone's a civil case. Based on a lawsuit that I'm in right now, I don't want to make any comments on it just for the sole reason of because of that lawsuit. If it wasn't for that, I would have talked about it a lot.
So Asmon has this lawsuit with Mizkif. However, many people covered the trial's fallout, and it really doesn't prohibit him from talking about Tectone's case. There's no reason to include Mizkif in this.
Oh, maybe all of my friends are just, you know, problem boys, right? Because I have tons of friends that have like felonies, they've been in jail and everything. And so, you know, I guess for me, you know, it's not that big of a surprise. I don't really care or want to have anything.
Bro. Damn, now it's pouring here too. Sheesh, anguished face emoji.
So the only reason The only fucking reason why I could see Asmin not speaking about it is because if I had to understand correctly, if I had to assume correctly, Miz is going to tie up all the loose ends of, well, you guys knew about this and did nothing, which, let me be very fucking real, also incriminates Mizkif like a motherfucker. So it's like standing on a fucking house of sand. I don't understand, because oh they did this, like, yeah, you did the shit too. Do you forget, Crazy Slick? Is that something you're just gonna forget for forever?
To do with other people's drama. I just don't give a shit about it. Like, I don't want to talk about it, explain it.
Basically, Asmin just took the cop out. Tectone's lawsuit has nothing to do with Mizkif whatsoever, and in reality, it's just a bad look for him as someone who has been defending Tectone leading up to this point, where he is then found civilly liable for SA.
This is a whore. No, some people in the chat said don't call her. You know, what do you mean she's a whore? Tectone, you dated a whore. It didn't work out.
Nux Taku is another creator who, after the court's decision, defended Tectone, obfuscated aspects of the case, and attacked Pink or Tectone. Nux recently was exposed for having a minor in his Patreon Discord who was groomed with explicit adult material and walked through the best ways to do SH. There's really no way to get around that this event happened, as everything was archived. Nick Andros has a video on the topic and you should check it out. However, I just wanted to illustrate how these people work and how these absurd defenses go both ways. You scratch my grooming back, I'll scratch your rapist back.
Looked like Nuxtaku completely obliterated all of the allegations that were thrown his way.
Interesting. What a good fucking pull.
In a matter of 5 minutes. So that was always really fun. I mean, the amount of people were like, you need to denounce Nux. You need to denounce Nux. I'm good, bro. I love Nux.
It's also worth noting this isn't the same as someone just ignoring a controversy, let's say. Some of these people are actually trying to obfuscate and dishonestly represent aspects of these stories in an attempt to benefit themselves and the person they are subverting for. Think Before You Sleep, I would say, had the most insane video on the topic where every subject is missing a ton of context.
Bro, the fucking tinfoil hat. Fucking chef's kiss. Chef's fucking kiss.
And it's all in service of attempting to help Tectone. The first 2 minutes, he just talks shit about Pink and calls her a catfish.
I mean, this is an insane amount of catfishing. I'm not even looking at the same person when I compare a live stream to a photo of her.
He does bring up the lip filler incident, but pretends there isn't medical documentation or Tectone talking about the incident on his stream several times.
Anyway, Pinkchu said that she had just gotten lip filler, and Tectone had forced her into oral sex, which had ruined the lip filler. Geez, another plastic surgery-related incident? Do all of her allegations have some sort of plastic surgery involved? Now, is there any corroborating evidence that this happened?
This video wasn't just so bad. This video is so fucking blatant. You notice how... Like this is very interesting, right? You notice how Shamu, while obviously there's a bias towards the truth, because there's a lot more evidence on Pink's side, right? You notice how he equally explained the background of both lawyers as equal in their respective fields and why they would have been hired. Doesn't go into the, she got a really good podcast and look at this Chad. No. It's an explanation of whom they are and their specialties and why they would have been hired. And it's to the fucking point.
Not really.
You know what you can't do to women who have lip filler? You can't their mouth because it'll rupture the lip filler. You know, it's very delicate. Like with the lip injections, you can't throw them as hard as you want to because then it'll fuck up their filler. So it's like they'll look really hot, but you can only go like 10% power on them. I'm like a very hard fucker. You know what I mean? Like, I go very hard.
TBYS throughout the video explains that he believes the protection order is actually
odd that Think Before You Sleep leaves all that out. I wonder why.
Conspiracy by Hassan Piker and his lackeys.
This whole situation was a coordinated effort from multiple streamers to...
Oh my god, I forgot about the Hassan Piker fucking schizo theory. I forgot.
In his career, Hassan Piker has this ongoing war with Asmongold, probably because he's mad that Asmon is more famous than him. Hassan likes to sit back and have his little lackeys do all the dirty work for him. This is a famous tactic of his, and he primarily works by not directly saying that he has certain values, but he will signal boost all the people who have the values that he wants to promote by watching their content on his stream. That being said, Tectone is friends with Asmongold. Hassan wants to attack Asmongold in any way that he can. So
that is the driest... Listen, I don't put my hair in a ponytail very often. That is the driest fucking ponytail I've ever seen in my life.
He can. So I think his lackeys came up with a plot to destroy Tectone. They do this a lot.
So what are we trying to do here? Well, with absolutely no evidence, TBYS wants to impress upon his viewers that if you think Tectone raped, think again, because this is actually a plot from Hassan Piker, who's pulling the strings in the background. It's so absurd to me that anyone would try to use Hassan Piker as a shield from being found liable in civil court for SA, someone who has literally nothing to do with this protection order between these two people, and really it should be an insult to the intelligence of someone's fans to even try to push something like this, but here we are. Tectone behind the scenes was sending streamers this video and told them it had been in the works for a long time.
And I know there might be some people thinking, oh my gosh, does Techless even want you to watch this? Yes, he asked me to watch this. So yes, he's told me.
Is this Sensitive Society or Think Before You Sleep? Is this Think Before You Sleep? Is this him? Or is it somebody else? Who's this?
This one has been in the works for a while.
Or is that somebody else? I don't fucking know who that guy is.
So yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're going to be watching.
So let's think about this.
Oh, you know what? No. That was a different guy. That was a different guy. I remember that clip. It's a different dude where, so like this very much is like, so what I would, how do I express this? Oh no, I will say it this way. It's the same shit Jimmy did, Jimmy Beast, by the way, with the soggy cereal video that I do have issues with. Going around saying, oh yeah, this video's been in the works. Like this video's really good. Oh, that was Pegasus? Interesting. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those things where it was like, for those who don't remember, like Mr. Beast went around like promoting the soggy cereal video, which I found an incredibly in poor taste and was not great. Do I dislike Soggy? No, I really got no issues with him. There are parts of the video I don't like. There's parts of the videos that's not Pegasus. Who the fuck is the Randomation Man? Who is the Randomation Man who was in the corner of my fucking screen? That's gonna get clipped. That's gonna get clipped. Fuck me.
After receiving a 10-year protection order, where the judge found reasonable grounds that Tectone had committed stalking and SA, he is now sending hit pieces against his ex-girlfriend to other streamers, where they are pretty openly doxing her and not redacting any info. This is true in TBYS and Legal Mindset's case. It is a violation of the protective order to use a third party to harass a protected person. So if Tectone is facilitating this with other creators, he could be in some serious trouble before this is all said and done. But in both TBYS and Legal Mindset's case, I personally believe there is just more for them to gain in defending Tectone and trying to obfuscate certain aspects of the case we talked about today. Tectone co-created Mythic Talent, he has many different connections in the space, and remains friends with creators like Asmongold. Being closer to those networks is obviously beneficial for people operating in that ecosystem. This case is not your typical run-of-the-mill accusations online case. We have medical records proving there were injuries sustained during the alleged act, with numerous references to the incident by the accused. This makes it all the more depraved to me.
That man was Saint Sonitas. He's also a Spurg? Okay, I will... He's just a random man.
That people are so willing to just obfuscate details of a rape case in order to get ahead online. It's about as slimy as it gets, really. Tectone, of course, utilizing these people to attack his ex-girlfriend, who now has a protection order, really goes to show the pattern of behavior and only reinforces some of the reasons the protection order was granted in the first place. Both Tectone's ex-wife and ex-girlfriend have accused him of SA. In my first video, I laid out a timeline and multiple examples of Tectone lying to show why viewers should be more open-minded about what may have happened with his partners. Now we also have medical records documenting bodily harm and Tectone himself admitting on camera that the injury occurred during a sexual act. That kind of documented injury can function as an aggravating factor and strengthen a finding of liability. There are only so many occurrences that can happen before giving someone the benefit of the doubt becomes untenable. So it's not just my personal opinion that Tectone did these things, but given the repeating pattern with his ex-wife and ex-girlfriend, I fully expect this type of behavior from him to continue. Given how Tectone has handled losing his case and coordinating with other creators to attack Pink using third parties, it would not surprise me in the slightest if there is further and greater fallout from all this. We'll just have to wait and see what the future holds. Thanks for watching. Peace.
That was a great video. Obviously I've been waiting for this video for a while. 10 out of 10. Mikey No More, love that. I gotta cover some Mikey No More videos. I've been watching Mikey No More stream a little bit. Actually fucking hilarious. Hey, look, it's Josh. Josh Mutton plays boulders. These are people I know. Are my other chatters in here? I guess you know what, chatters? You did all right. Yeah, no, Shamu did a real bang up job with this. Oh yeah, I know Hydra. There we go. I got some chatters in here. Let's go. But no, ultimately, this was a really good video. I think this accurately shows the web of support that Tectone, in my opinion, was a part of. And just a part of just going through it. Great video. Sadly, no one will ever cover it again. I mean, listen, that's how all videos are. Unless Tectone gets called out again, unless Pikachu does something else. Dude, Templar responded to this? There's no way. Tactical Templar? No way. Oh, come on. No, Templar, no! Oreo. Oh my god. The end of the Tectone haters? It's 55 minutes! There's no way!
We are going to be taking a look at a video from a content creator that goes by the name of Shamu. Now, why are we looking at this video? Well, because I saw that Mama Coco did a reaction to this video, and I wanted to see what it's about. Now, the video is over an hour long. I don't know if we're going to watch through the whole thing, because...
Oh my god, he already does it. I hate when he does it. I don't know if I'm going to watch through the whole thing. Why? Why would you not watch through the whole thing? It goes over the court case. Fauci watching Templar, finally? Oh my god, come on. I find Templar so boring! Okay, you know what, chat? In the interest of time, I'm speeding Templar up. Oh god, I find Templar so boring.
To be honest, what I find in a lot of these detractor spaces is they have absolutely no respect for people's time. They'll do a video that's an hour long and just filled with monotonous, repetitive garbage.
This guy's such a faggot, holy shit. Oh my god. Oh, it's monotonous. What do you mean? What do you mean the video is monotonous? Think before you sleep. This video is equally as long. Huh? What do you mean? Newest comment. Oh, come on, no. Shmoo. Come on, no! What is happening? Guys,
It's been 8 months.
What have you guys done? Sort by newest. Okay, you know what? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like the video or I'll punish you is exactly how I'll fucking feel.
Templar has the same energy as a wet noodle on depression.
You know what's like fucking hilarious? I'll just say it. I love that Templar is a 29K sub channel, but I pull double his viewership, if not more, all the fucking time. It is hilarious.
And so, yeah, we will take a look. We'll see if this is a video that's engaging enough to keep us for the full hour plus. But I don't know. I'm hoping that this video will at least provide something that other detractor videos haven't, which is a foundational argument that is based on the evidence present and not the things that they just made the fuck up, intentionally misunderstanding the facts of the case, ignoring other facts, that are inconvenient. I'm hoping that this will be a cogent, well put together, honest, and
it's a very good video. So what do you think that he'll just... Okay, let's just go. Let's just see.
Faithful accounting of the events. I don't know. But it says Tectone's career-ending court case. So I don't have high hopes. I do not have high hopes at all.
My first video on Tectone covering tumultuous and allegation-ridden relationships. Instead, a judge ruled in civil court that based on evidence and testimony presented, that Tectone likely...
A familial obligation.
I'm just speeding it. Like I just want to hear this man's thoughts.
Stalking you. It was self-admitted. Goofy schizophrenic.
I'm schizophrenic and I have a gun. I'm a very dangerous man.
If you are unaware and want to know more on the timeline of Tectone's history, be sure to check out my first video on him. However, briefly, in February of 2024, Tectone's ex-wife Freem was going to come out with SA allegations against him. Lawsuits in court would then lock these allegations under an NDA. However, later, Tectone's ex-girlfriend Pichu would also make allegations which this time became public. These allegations being made would ignite a long battle between the two, which would end up in civil court where a judge found...
Oh, okay. So are you really, from the first, you're painting Freem as a victim rather than a victimizer? Did we watch the same transcript, brother? His ex-wife was a monster.
Huh? Freem is barely mentioned in that. What are you talking about? Freem is barely mentioned, and the NDA and the money is known. I read through the transcript. She's barely fucking mentioned. This guy. This guy is such a fucking faggot.
The things that
this guy loves cock. Let's just be real, right? Like, I know he has got a wife, but she 100% puts the strap on and dicks him down. Like, we can all agree with that, right? Because, he'll probably, like, if he ever sees this, right? He'll probably be like, oh my God, this guy says I'm gay. I can't, oh, by the love of God.
Into him, the emotional manipulation, the invasion of privacy, recording Tectone and Pinky recording both of them without their consent and taking the footage and stalking them. Are you...
Didn't stalk them. That is what Pikachu is led to believe. The question is, why would Tectone settle out of court and then have her sign an NDA? Critical thinking skills. Why would he why would he pay her? If she recorded porn of them, right? If she recorded stuff of them being in an intimate act, why would he sign an NDA? Why, like, you know what I mean? Like, why? Why? Is this like, Wait, didn't Pikachu come out and say the recording allegations were I'm pretty sure that her claim is that's what she was led to believe, that I don't think she ever saw the recording. Again, I do think a recording exists. I just think the recording is like Freem clearly having evidence of her and Tectone being together and him sneaking Pikachu into the home, which, by the way, is fucked up if true. I'm gonna kind of keep it a buck, right? Or maybe some other like woman, right? Which, by the way, if that's true of Pink and Tectone, and she never mentions that, that is fucked up. Whether or not like Pikachu is a victim of Tectone's manipulation and potential sexual violence, that's still fucked up of her to do. Yeah, she was hyped up to sue Freem. Exactly.
Immediately coming out of the gate saying that Tectone had SA'd his ex-wife? Are you for real? This is how you...
No, that's not what he said. He said Freem was going to come out with allegations of SA, and then the payment in the NDA goes through. Never said that he did. Said allegations were going to come forward.
Starting with this level of fucking dishonesty? And by the way, there are things that you lie about outright, and there are things that you lie about through omission. A lie of omission is still a lie. If you are going to present this information, and you're not also going to take into account...
Freya tipped $1. I don't need to imagine Templar's fat ass getting pegged. I can hear his jowls flap under his helmet.
That's true.
The evil and indefensible things, and maybe he gets into it later on, but this is the introduction, this is the build-up. This is the way that you perceive Tectone, and it's also the way that you perceive this guy Shamu. Because if you're coming out and you're saying, this guy has a history of SA, and this, and this, and this, and you're putting...
No, not what he said. The allegation. It was the allegation. It was the allegation.
His ex-wife, and you're putting his ex-girlfriend in this sort of ultimately favorable light, ignoring all of the things that we saw in the transcript that goes against their character, goes against them being credible, goes against all of the things that you're trying to set up here. If you're only going to present one side of things, no one is going to take this seriously, and that's why this...
Again, if there was a problem with Freem's credibility, the judge would have seen through that. Very magical how the judge... is Freem the greatest actress known to man? Weird.
Shit doesn't work. Because the only thing that you need to refute this is the evidence. And on this channel, we went over the full transcript. We went over all of it.
Yep.
It took 2 streams. It was a long...
Yep. We also went over, I want to say like the 90% of the transcript. The probably 10% that we missed was the cross-examination. Which again, I watched the cross-examination. There are things that are interesting. Obviously, painting her mental health stuff. Some of the omission of Tectone in her original break, which is interesting. But again, you're saying Tectone was a fucking saint and 100% didn't fuck himself on the stand? You out of your mind?
Long time. And we got to see the fact that in this, the only victim from my perspective is Tectone. No, to be fair, Tectone is a victim of Tectone because he made some pretty stupid fucking decisions. First of all, in moving in with a whore like this, that was a mistake. He should never have done that. Never should have moved in with her. And with his wife, he made a number of mistakes, but more often than not, those mistakes are you're in a vulnerable position and they take advantage. Like some of the things that his ex-wife said about him while she was cheating on him, having an affair. Like we're just gonna ignore all that because we want to get to Tectone back.
Was an affair ever proven? There was no affair ever discussed in Shamu's video, nor do I think an affair was ever discussed in the court case. I could be wrong on that. So, the only person you'd hear an affair from is Tectone. Okay. Now, if there's evidence of that, I'd love to see it outside of verbal testimony.
Now, again, maybe this guy goes on to elucidate all this stuff and lay it out, but the foundation so far, we're 42 seconds in, not a fan of this.
There are reasonable grounds to believe that Tectone committed SA and stalking. Pikachu would file for protection order on August 21st of 2025, just 1 month after my second video, and it wasn't until January 23rd, 2026 that a trial would take place with everything on the line.
They go after my family, and they call me a generational rapist in front of 1.2 million people. It's been a wild ride, because I'm telling you, when I get exonerated, I'm going nuclear. I did everything for you. I helped you with everything. I fixed everything for you. I was there for you like nobody else was there for you.
Yeah. I think that's a perfectly valid opinion to have. See, this guy thinks because the protective order was granted that it was like a trial, guys.
It was a trial. The civil trial. Huh? I think Freem cheated on Tectone. Yeah, I don't remember that happening. I do believe that there were allegations that Freem cheated on Tectone with his editor. I don't remember exactly. Okay. I don't remember that from Shamu's video. So maybe I'm incorrect. again, it doesn't really change that that's not what Shamu said. Also, it is a trial, just not a jury trial, you fucking moron.
He says court case. It was a civil case where the judge, by the way, can we in the chat, those of you who remember.
Yes, yes, yes. Say it's a fucking feminist judge.
Do you
Hey, Batman, good to see you, buddy.
Remember that the judge in this case was a far left radical feminist, somebody that was an activist for domestic abuse cases for women, somebody that would constantly say things that should get them disqualified from cases like this. But apparently.
Should. Then why didn't his Chad of a lawyer push for that, to recuse herself? It's almost like Tectone's lawyer would have had the potential possibility to recuse himself. Pink mentioned an offhand affair in a gym video. People thought it came from her. Interesting.
You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to bring that up. You're not allowed to, basically tell the truth. Everything has to be an exaggeration, a distortion, a distraction. I gotta tell you, I'm disappointed. I thought maybe, just maybe, this had the potential to be something a little more substantive, but it's not. It's absolutely not. It's more of the same. More of the same drivel. The more.
Are you really just gonna? You went 42 seconds in and said, "I'm not gonna watch the video." Insane. Watch out, Templar Knights, like Dr. Boshi, are gonna call you a Hassan fan for criticizing their idol. I mean, sure. Wouldn't be the first time someone's called me a Hassan fan. I've made it very well public that I used to be. I no longer am. I've criticized him on a now deleted Beckett stream. But like, I've been open about that. So if that's the case, yeah, sure. Like, it's so funny. Do these people think that I'm afraid of them? Like, again, Templar's an idiot.
The most dishonest, misframed rhetoric. And the thing is, like I said, and this is important that people understand, a lie of omission is still a lie. If you present something and you try to frame it in a certain way.
Yes, okay. So a lie of omission is a lie. So why are you omitting all of the multiple factors of Tectone going publicly on stream saying he's going to go nuclear, that he's a schizophrenic with a gun, that he's constantly and consistently talking about her? All of those exhibits brought up and identified by by Pink's attorney as stalking efforts, and the judge agrees with that. Why are you omitting that? Incredibly interesting. Incredibly interesting.
But the truth of the matter is, in the stuff that you left out, that is still a lie. So, yeah, not a fan of this.
Why are you leaving out the other stuff?
I don't like what I see so far. And this guy calling him a generational rapist, Tectone is not a rapist. The fact that this judge in a civil case said something.
He didn't go. It's Tectone calling himself a generational rapist because that's the. This guy's such a fucking moron. There was a Tectone clip, and even if Shamu did, because I'd have to double check that. Even if Shamu did, it's clearly tongue in cheek because people were calling him that. Even Tectone said it. You are an idiot. You just lie. Like,
I mean, fucking
the guy calling him a generational rapist has been cool. I mean, like, yeah, that's like a bunch of different things.
Nothing.
But
keep in mind that Johnny Depp was found guilty in a UK court, in a UK civil court. He was found guilty. So the idea that, a civil court means that he's guilty, that's not what it means at all. In fact, if you were to call Tectone a rapist and he wanted to sue you for
it's libel. I wouldn't say guilty, but I'd have to double check on that one.
Defamation, he could. Because he's not guilty. He has not been convicted in a court of law.
No one said that he was found guilty. He was found liable. Liable. No one said guilty. Liable.
The fact that you had a radical feminist judge that ignored all of the evidence, which basically in real time proved that the ex-girlfriend was a liar.
You mean his 15 minutes of evidence? You mean this 15 minutes of evidence due to her substantial potential 200 pages, the doctor's reports, the multiple exhibits that she had on her side? Yes. Yes, you're right. Tectone definitely had all of the evidence.
And you had a judge that at the same time completely and totally ignored the fact that this girl was manipulating Tectone. It wasn't the other way around. Both of them agree that she was the one that wanted to move in. She was the one that wanted to move forward. in her testimony, she tried to make it seem like they weren't in a relationship, and they were. Like there were certain moments where she tried to make it seem like they were just friends or roommates, but then that was disproven, and they were actually, actually lovers. The whole thing.
I mean, again, I will say this. I will say this. I said this before. I will say this again. This is the one part I will criticize Pikachu on. You moved in with Tectone. You guys had some type of actual relationship. The idea that you're like, oh, I just thought it was for like pay my way through editing, while he's clearly saying, I'm gonna make you, baby. Like, come on. Like, even I'm gonna sit there and be like, yeah, you could be a little bit honest about that. That's like one point I'd be like, okay.
Solidifies that if you come at this from this simp perspective and mentality, you are going to be led astray and lead people astray, and it's embarrassing. It is genuinely embarrassing. So let me pull this up real quick. Let me see.
He's just gonna skip through the video. There's no fucking way this motherfucker just skips through the video.
Going over the Tectone files. I did this on stream. We did this on stream. We went over all the files.
Okay, so and, yeah, so did we.
Yeah, one of the things that I was blown away with was just how dishonest and how manipulative she was. Courtroom.
Wait, is he just gonna do his own fucking coverage of it? Okay, come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's get to the point where you're reacting to Shamu's video.
They just don't. They have no duty of care for the truth. They're more interested in personalities.
In your whole life, I fantasize about getting a report that says your case has been indefinitely suspended.
They call him generational rapist. Yeah, you should like the video in the comments. It helps the out.
Yeah, that's Asmund right there.
If you want support, you can do so with the links on screen now. This video will look to illustrate why Tectone lost his case in such a spectacular fashion. By considering testimony, court medical records, along with greater potential evidence from what Tectone said on the streams, it should become quite clear why Tectone lost his case.
No, the reason why Tectone lost the case is because the judge was an activist. The judge was a far-left feminist. I don't know if I need to... Do we need to relitigate the judge? Do we need to relitigate the whole situation with the judge?
Again, the judge was there. Tectone's lawyer had every opportunity to ask the judge to recuse themselves and to go above them if they felt like it was unfair. That's what appellate court is also for. And it didn't happen.
Maybe we do. Maybe that's something that would be beneficial in this particular situation. To relitigate the whole thing with the judge, because it appears that this guy thinks that there's forensic and testimonial evidence. No, the evidence, the transcript, every bit of it proves that the girlfriend was a liar.
Every bit of the whiteboard thing that Tectone says, every little bit of the fact that there's multiple clips of him saying that he would go nuclear on her, that he would destroy her, that he would release all her files on her, that 100%. Oh, wow, you're right. Right. She's lying when it's Tectone's own words.
This proves that the girlfriend was a liar. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is so absurd to me. It's so absurd, and people like this, they have no integrity. I'm not saying you gotta like Tectone. I'm not saying you gotta support him. I'm not saying any of that. If you want to hate this guy, hate this guy. I want you to prepare yourself.
And then this is like, oh my God, he's just doing his own coverage. Can we go back to the... Okay, this is Judge... Yeah, she's worked... Oh, wow, a judge that cares about domestic violence. Weird. Like, there's never been judges who have worked in sectors for cases and types of law and types of things they preside over. What an insane thing. Also, Travis County is more liberal than Williamson County. If the lawsuit took place in Williamson County, I think it would have been way worse for Tectone. So wait, because Leia, I think you live in Texas, right? So what you're saying is that... So what you're saying is that where, like, it could have gone worse if he was trying a different town? Or a different county, like based on like Texas's like geographical makeup and political makeup. Interesting. I mean, you live there or know about it. I don't know. Okay. I don't care about all this shit. Holy shit. Do I not care? Let's go to this. Let's go to.
Especially for me being an immigrant, being a woman of color.
Basically, I'm saying the judge is woke. Now, there were a bunch of arguments made by Pikachu's lawyer that didn't really make sense to me.
Oh my God. Are you really just not going to go over Shamu's video? Really? Okay.
I do not feel like this is a video that is, I mean, even worse.
You live in Williamson County? Fuck me, I guess.
considering because of the level of dishonesty. But we're going to continue. We're going to go forward.
Beyond the courtroom, who also had Tectone's leverage his relationships with other online creators to defend him, issue talking points, and in some cases directly
And you don't think? Oh, okay. So Tectone. Oh my gosh.
attack Pink, who had just been given a tenure protection order against him. Tectone could be seen as a use case for what not to do when accused of SA. In court, Pink had medical records of a lip injury sustained during the
Well, yeah. This is but that's the completely fair. What not to do when you're accused of SA. Yeah. Constantly say that you're going to destroy the bitch.
alleged assault. What was Tectone do? Talked about and confirms the injury on stream.
You know what you can't do?
And he did.
You have a lip filler? You can't f*** the mouth. Because it'll rupture the lip filler.
More on this later. Tectone was represented by Jeffrey Puryear, who had experience in cases involving SA and abuse allegations. On his front page, the one case that is listed in detail is a summary of a man he represented who was accused of beating his stepdaughter. After Mr. Puryear represented him, he was found not guilty. Page 2 was represented by Michelle L. Locke, who specializes in divorce, custody, and protective order applications. In Tectone's lawyer's opening statement, in just the second paragraph, it contradicts what Tectone has lied to his audience in the past about. It states, quote, "It's true that the applicant..."
Notice how Templar didn't stop the video being like, "Oh, look at the lawyers, look at the lawyers," because Shamu accurately gave each lawyer like the same airtime of the respect of their degrees and like what their specialties are. Weird.
Or Pink never paid rent, end quote. However, during Tectone's original response to these allegations, he claimed the exact opposite.
You say that I would say, do your job, you don't pay rent. This is factually untrue. Here is you paying rent, not one time, but multiple times. That is you paying rent.
He has also claimed the opposite of this as well.
It's Pink's responsibility. The reality is that she's in my house role playing as a tutor's lawyer or a waitress. And honestly, it's really the reality is
What Tectone was trying to slide of hand here is that Pink originally was not paying rent. Allegedly, when Tectone made Pink's job perform oral acts on him in lieu of paying rent, she asserted that she wanted to pay rent. So Tectone's lawyer's opening statement, totally contradicting his own public response to SA allegations, is a good sign as to how this trial would go. He would take a stand and flesh out some of the allegations being made and started a relationship. Quote, he told me, he said, "I could change your life. I'm in OTK. I have connections. You should..."
Yeah, and you know the funny thing about the shift here is we actually went through the transcript, and it was her that pushed to move in with him. It was her that was the one that pushed in to move in with him. It was her that was the one that...
It was an equal thing. She had the cockroaches. Like, you don't tell the story about how you radically saved her from a house infested of cockroaches if you didn't want her to move in. Jesus Christ, man.
It was, just like, man, he said, Tectone said that she was the most sexually forward girl that he had ever met. But
sure. Okay. I don't really care if she was sexually forward. I don't give a fuck. Did he accuse her of rape? See, that would have been the fun thing. Would have been like, yeah, why doesn't he just... If he's saying that she's so sexually forward, why didn't he counter? Why didn't he counter with his own rape allegation? Huh? Because her being sexually forward just expresses why they're in a relationship. It's because Tectone just wants a blowjob machine. Unironically.
This guy, who is a massive fucking simp of the highest degree, completely omitted... By the way, we're already into the start of the relationship, so we're past the introduction now. The introduction was a fucking disaster. We're already into the start of the relationship, and this guy's already lying. He's already misrepresenting things. He's already framing it like, oh, well, Tectone forced her to move in. She's just a poor innocent girl.
That's not what he said. Not what he said. Didn't say that she was forced to move in. Never said that she was held at gunpoint. He's just explaining what Pink is saying about the benefits of being together.
And so, well, no, she was a whore who looked at this opportunity and moved in with this guy who, honestly, at the time, he probably looked like an easy mark. He probably looked like an easy mark. A guy that, was into gotcha games, a little doughy, made a lot of money, but he was relatively famous. Like, it doesn't make sense the other way around, the way that he's trying to frame it.
Just move in with me. You don't have to pay rent, and I'll help you, and you try to help me. Here's some items. And was like, I'll change your life, and what would you better? And kept telling me that he's going to change my career. In regards to OTK, or Tectone was a part.
Yeah, he could change her career. He could help her, and he did. Nobody would have known about this woman if not for Tectone.
She stated, they have...
Yes, but that's, again, part of the relationship. Oh my God, I don't know how much I'm going to get through this if he's just going to be like, no youing on everything. It's literally like, here's evidence. Well, no you. Like, he doesn't refute anything. It's all like feelings.
Break your career. Whether you get invited to collaborations or get sponsorships, they also have control, and the owners own one of the largest management companies that I was also part of at the time, or he got me into because that was another promise he said he could do. According to Pink, originally she was...
So she benefited off of this. So she completely benefited off of this. And
yes. It was a mutually beneficial relationship. Until the mutually beneficial part started to become a hassle when he allegedly becomes more sexually aggressive. Allegedly becomes more sexually aggressive. Yeah. It's this weird thing where no one is really, at least me anyways, I'm not disengaging with the fact that this relationship gets like weird. And like, this is one of my issues with a lot of the upper echelon of the streaming industry with their partners, because they make or break them, and especially when they have zero talent. I mean, we've talked about Frogan, even though she's nobody's partner, she got carried. She got fucking carried into multiple streamer awards. And she can't pull more than fucking me? Like, come on. Like, it's ridiculous. But again, that is how the entertainment industry works, and it is a criticism of both Pink and Tectone. Like, it's a criticism of Tectone.
The implication, by the way, is, well, if I don't date this guy, then I have no choice. I'm a poor innocent victim. Fuck you. There are plenty of
no one would know her without Tectone, and no one would call her an OF girl without Tectone pushing her into OF. Okay, listen, I'm going to keep it a buck. I will keep it a buck on this. Pink has continued the OF stuff. I'm not going to blame Tectone too much on that. I'm going to keep it a $1.50. I can't. If she had said this was not of my own volition, I know, and she stopped it the moment they broke up, yeah, maybe. But she still continues with it, and it's a conscious choice for her to continue with it. So yes, does he implant the idea or support the idea? Sure. But it is a way that she is making money. And I think that it's, listen, if she wishes to make money that way, by all means, she is allowed to do so.
Creators who go it alone, who don't need you don't need a backup, or you don't need to go to parties or be introduced to people. Like, this is just ridiculous. I have made my channel for what it is on my own, brick by brick. I wasn't invited to collabs. I don't do collabs with people. Nope, I just don't. When you see a collab with a bunch of people, I'm not there. And you know why that is? Because most of the time, these people will stab you in the back. They use you for an opportunity. And it's just not worth it. So she took advantage of this situation, and you want to frame it like Tectone's bad for offering her job to try and help her. It's fucking pathetic.
Doing graphic design thumbnails for Tectone compensate for paying rent, but this would become warped over time. Quote, I just would help them with some thumbnails. So in my assumption,
by the way, at this time they're still dating. So this is another misconception. They're dating at this time, I believe.
It would just be helping him because I do graphic design.
There is no misconception. But there is no misconception. The idea they're in a relationship is just there. Huh? There is no... It's... Huh? I'm so... Like, does this guy have an aneurysm? Like I gotta ask, right? Because there's no way that he fucking makes enough money to make this a fucking career, right? There's no way that Templar makes enough money to make this his full-time job, right? So, what's happening?
Yeah, so I like make his thumbnails and edit some things for him. It went from make his thumbnails.
And I want you to keep something else in mind. He's going to be relying solely on her testimony and her saying, and not Tectone's. Not at all. No.
That's not true. Not true at all. I'm going to tell you that this video I didn't watch, Tectone will never be featured in. Tectone will never be featured in this.
Even as a cross-reference, it doesn't seem. I think that what we have here is we have a fundamental problem. We have a very weak man. This guy, we have a very weak man, a beta male, Sim.
A beta male Sim. Oh my god. Oh my god, what are you fucking... Are you fucking COVID era red pilled? Is this all you got? Is this COVID era red pilling? Brother. My brother in Christ, no. Frogan is the James Corden of streaming is an accurate statement, in my opinion. Thank you, Backshots.
Who is, just desperate for female attention. That's what it strikes me. Because otherwise, how could you look at the story? How could you look at the situation through the entire testimony, and your conclusion is, well, this poor innocent girl.
Hey, you know all the facts? Fuck all the facts. This guy's a beta male. Beta male.
Poor innocent girls didn't do anything wrong. I think this screams that this guy doesn't like Tectone. He has some animus towards him. He's got some bitterness and resentment towards him, and it's pathetic. It genuinely is pathetic. You should feel bad for this video. This is embarrassing. This is not honest. This is your in-depth commentary. I've done hours and hours and hours on this subject. We've gone through the entire thing, line by fucking line. We went through the entire transcript. It took 2 or 3 streams. It was a very, very long endeavor, and I did a couple videos on it too. I've gone through this whole thing. It was a month or so ago.
I think what's kind of funny is like, I'm pretty sure he fought with Shamu on Twitter. Or Shamu would have, or Templar would have noticed that. So like, this is insanely funny.
But if you look at what the girlfriend said at the time, when she was asked by the doctors, have you been sexually assaulted? She said,
will you debate and why? Can I be honest? Why would I debate Templar? That's more eyes on him. And why would I do that? He's... Let's be honest. Am I gonna be legit and say, fuck it, I'll say it. I gain nothing from his paltry viewership.
No, I haven't recently been sexually assaulted. But then she goes, well, in the past I was by this other guy. So she had this traumatic experience. But when she was asked point blank by the medical team, have you been sexually harassed or assaulted? She said no. She said
yes, because she didn't identify it as sexually assault, right? And people can realize things over a period of time because she had a very rigid view of sexual assault, which was rape. And then she was like, oh, well, I know he forced it in my mouth, but that couldn't have been that bad. Like, she had an incredibly rigid view of sexual assault. Now, again, the stuff with the sexual assault and potentially going to police, it didn't go forward. That is fair. But, like, that isn't just the crux of the protective order. The protective order also correctly identifies the fact that Tectone consistently and constantly talked about Freem in a way that would place, oh, holy God, Pikachu, that would place Pikachu and her family under undue harm because of his massive audience compared to her size. Like, there are levels to this. And again, Tectone has the complete opportunity to appeal this if he wants to.
it was only after more.
Hey, listen, don't do that to Ben Stiller. Don't do that to Ben Stiller, by the way. Take that back. Take that back. Ben Stiller is an amazing director. Do not take that the fuck back.
I got into her ear that she accused him and goes, yeah, I was sexually assaulted. It was only after somebody like Morgpie. And we went over that too. That whole
Which
thing.
we don't know if it was Morgpie. It's their random friend called Morgan. We have no idea if it's Morgpie.
I don't think this guy goes into the Morgpie drama bit. I've gone into depth more than this guy. And we have seen the depths of shit.
You are a minute and a half in, and you are saying, I've gotten to more depth than this guy. Holy absolute shit. Yeah, leave Ben... Listen, remember, Ben Stiller is the creator behind Severance. He moved away from being in front of the camera to want to legitimately be behind the camera. And he's the creative mind behind Severance. If you don't know that, it's very interesting.
That this story goes into. To make it seem like it's this cut and dry, that Tectone is this...
I think comedians writing incredibly serious dramas and understanding how to make comedy within them is insane. And it's something that should be studied. It's a move that should be studied because, like, not so much season 2. Season 3 is not that bad, but season 2 I don't really like of White Lotus, but season 1 very particularly. If you guys know who wrote that, if you ever watch School of Rock, it's the roommate, but he's like a long-term comedy writer. It's so... And I don't know how much more of this I'm going to watch. I'm probably going to stop here if I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest, Tectone's fucking boring. Like, Tectone's doing the thing that Tectone does. I'll watch parts of the video and then assume that things are going to happen and then call this man a beta male. Yeah, it's like, it's hilarious. Yeah, this is such a good video. You serve a new follower. Oh boy. What was I going to say? I think really good Templar. Yeah. You mean Templar? Yeah. Did I say Tectone Templar? I don't fucking know anymore. All the names kind of blur. Comedy writers doing big exposés, something should be studied. I think they're very, very good, very, very well done. Not exposés, serious dramas. Something like who's it? White Lotus, for instance. I always described, especially White Lotus season 1, as a White Lotus season 1 was a live comedy show without the laugh track. And I will always hold that because there are, like, you feel the comedic pauses, but it just keeps on going. And then it becomes the serious drama because there isn't a comedic pause. It's so interesting to me. And I always will say that is one of the most interesting things. Bryan Cranston opened the door for comedic actors switching to serious roles. No. That's not true. Comedians have been doing that for a long time. Very famously, for ones who don't know, Rain on Me, featuring Adam Sandler and oh my god, what the fuck is his name? He played War Machine. What the fuck is his name? Don Cheadle. Yeah. Rain on Me featuring Adam Sandler and Don Cheadle, and Adam Sandler would actually do a lot of serious movies. That movie is incredibly good if you don't know the story of that. It's been a long-term career path. A lot of people have done that. And vice versa. Serious actors have gone the comedic route, and you've seen like very, very, Uncut Gems, very good. You know what I watched recently? Only through like YouTube Shorts clips, but very, very interesting. Adam Sandler was in like this basketball movie, Hustle. Actually, incredibly interesting movie. I think that's awesome. Jack and Jill is not his best movie. Die in a Fire, man. But again, like there's a lot of comedians who will do those serious roles. I mean, listen, for as much as you can say about Jim Carrey, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind is an excellent, excellent, excellent film. Like, incredibly excellent. Excellently well executed. Writing is impeccable. Like, there's spots that the movie kind of slows a little bit, but that's kind of the point. Because they got to set up a lot of shit in that movie, but it's an impeccable movie. And I think there are so many, like, there's a lot of things. Now, let's not talk about 21. But, oh no, is it 23? 8 Crazy Nights is very, I like 8 Crazy Nights. It's not a great movie, but I love 8 Crazy Nights. I think it's really funny. But chat, that's the end of our stream. Where do you guys want to go? Who do you guys want to go to? Let's see who's streaming. Is Himpleton still streaming? I might send you guys over to Himpleton. I see. I know it's on my screen, right? I might send you guys over to Himpleton. Edit. I know it's on my stream, but sometimes, yeah, let's go. There's Yen, TK Mantis. I'll send you guys over to Himpleton just because it's something new. Also, go support K-Hawk while she goes over the AJOT video. Oh, she might be at the end of it, actually. Who is she? Is that T-Moss Boss? T-Moss Boss? Let me double check. Yeah, it's T-Moss Boss. Go support K-Hawk, all that jazz. I'm going to go send you guys over to Himpleton. Just because I'm really curious about whatever the fuck this debate is.
Responsible ways of doing things. A lot of people feel just in general.
I'm gonna send you guys over here. This seems interesting. This is the squirrel dude that we covered with the Otsuka Ray stuff. I'm incredibly interested. All right, chat. Super cool. Super good nights, everybody. I'll see you guys soon. I don't know when. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for being here. Remember to like the stream. Ooh, fuck me. Remember the do all the doobly do. Yes, remember K-Hawk is debating some Dr. Bushi guy tomorrow, whatever the fuck the guy's name is. Go support friends. I don't think I'll be live tomorrow because I got studying to do. But yes, good night, everybody.